And welcome everybody to Fat Guys on a Little Podcast. I'm your co-host Steve Markey, and always joined by
Charles there.
Now the one that's always back and better than ever in 2019. Holly approved Nike gear on. Wiggs, how you doing?
Good. You guys must have ran out of gas. That's why I got the invite.
No. Well, we did have a busy January. All those businessmen of the year, I don't know.
I was going to say, Westland is it.
Yeah, and then floating around. Now, all you women out there that thought that football's over, you're wrong.
Yes, and my daughter was pissed today. She was like, "You're watching more football?" I'm like,
Yes.
yeah, apparently.
Michelle and Holly were not too happy about it. Wiggs, did you catch any of the AAF Alliance of American Football?
First of all, I don't want to interrupt. Wait, that's the worst name.
Yeah.
Can we just get that out of the way?
Yeah,
first of all?
why do they just call it the D League?
I don't. Yeah, I call it like the G League from NBA. Is kind of what I thought it was. But anyway.
I saw like 5 minutes
You only watched 5 on
because
That was
honestly,
the 4.5
it was
minutes more than you
terribly
needed.
promoted. I forgot it was on. Then I realized it was on, flipped over. It was like the halftime, and then I never went back.
That was my point. It's not very well advertised. Like I only
It
caught
was the whole time at the regular season. Did you watch the end of the regular season? It was on every commercial break during the regular
For some
season.
reason I missed it.
Of
You
the
missed it
NFL.
too,
Well,
obviously?
I knew it was
Troy
coming.
It was just
It was
their heads. It was Mike Singletary, Troy Polamalu,
Well, it must have been a
Gerald Johnson.
terrible
It was
advertising
annoying
campaign.
because it was every
I
commercial.
caught it in a radio interview on Sports Talk. That's the only reason.
No?
And literally
I knew all
3 days
about it,
before.
yeah.
I didn't. Wade, you knew anything about this?
I knew about it like previously. It was coming out, but I forgot all about it was coming out
Yeah.
yesterday.
Maybe it's
so-
because I watched the CBS. What do you call it? Pregame on Sundays. You don't watch. You watch the Fox, don't
Yeah,
you?
Fox wasn't
Yeah,
promoting it.
CBS has got a big push behind it.
Well, that explains it. So I watched Mike Martz's team versus Mike Riley's team.
He was looking tubby. Mike Mark, well, he's enjoying retirement.
Yeah,
wasn't he?
no,
I was
I'm
like,
not sure he wanted to
He
be
is
back
welcome on the
that sideline.
podcast, buddy.
Yeah, he fits in. What is it? 6-15 was the final.
Yeah, they have to. So there's some weird. I think they're doing it smart, and here's why. I think the XFL wants to compete with the NFL, and they're going to lose.
Yeah.
This league is purely just like, hey, look, you can't get any reps in the NFL. Come here, put yourself on tape, and then go back to the NFL. We got a bunch of NFL coaches. We got a bunch of NFL schemes. We've also got a lot of rules. And that's the one thing I was talking to you about that push to the offensive side of the ball. So come here, make a fancy catch, make a big splash, and get in the Buccaneers training camp or something
And
like
then
that.
and get cut. Yeah, let's say
Yeah.
get cut in week 2 in preseason.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the rushing of the 5 is terrible. Getting
Yeah,
rid of
so one of the rules out there, everyone don't know, you're only allowed to rush 5 people against on
that's
defense.
awful.
So they just want all offense then.
Yeah.
They want,
That's
but
pretty
the
much
funny
all-
part was you can only rush 5. There was like 10 sacks.
Yeah.
Because the guys are terrible.
They still couldn't score with only rushing
It was
5.
awful.
It's
I
probably
tell you
like
what.
watching a week 1 preseason game, wasn't it?
It reminded me of
yeah.
like a better Division 1 game is what I equated.
So it's like
it to.
MAC action.
It's not even MAC action. It's higher than a MAC action. I would say like lower tier SEC football is kind of how I would equate it.
Yeah,
But
it was like Vanderbilt versus Kentucky.
or like a random Oklahoma State game or
Yeah.
something like that.
Well,
you
no,
turn
'cause that
on.
Oklahoma State put us some offense.
Yeah, they can score. We didn't. When I watched,
I think it was there was a lot of growing. I didn't think the product was terrible. It's just the audio stuff was kind of neat. The way that you could hear the coaches' headsets.
Yeah.
You could hear the audio in the helmets. But then with that, they had a lot of audio issues. So like as I'm listening, it's like clicking back and forth weirdly. It was like main game audio, sideline audio. It didn't blend really well.
There was a lot. I think it's going to be one of those trial and error places, and then if it works there, they'll move. They might move the rule or whatever it is. To the
I
NFL.
hated the kickoff rule, eliminating kickoff. How many people get hurt on a kickoff? Am I missing something?
The problem is they're all touchbacks now. What's the point in having it?
I've-
You rarely see a guy bring the
but
ball
what I'm
out and
saying
kick
is
off
like at
anymore.
least give someone at least. What I would argue though is at least have the option. So my point is like you just give them the ball in the 25 and just completely eliminate the kickoff. It eliminates a strategy in a game that exists. You just completely eliminate it.
Oh, I know,
think
but
it's
the
right.
way the league has pushed the kickoff back, they've basically
I'm
all
not-
but eliminated the kickoff anyways.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
you don't see guys bring the ball out.
You can't onside
often.
kick in this AAF league. There's a weird. You got to be down by 15 points or more. You have to try for a
See,
4.
they're trying
See,
too hard.
this is the problem with this stupid stuff. They got to come up with so many just harebrained ideas.
The one thing I did hear in the interview that there's an eye in the sky type deal. So
Sky
one
judge, yeah.
there's a referee up in there. So that way, if
He can
like
call
what happened
down.
with the Saints and the Rams, he can call down and call a penalty.
I watched the whole game. So the cool part about it too was during the replay, you could hear the communication between the on-field officiating and that sky judge. They actually broadcast that to the audience. I thought that was kind of neat
Yeah,
too.
they do some things that are all right. It's funny, I totally forgot about it. And Charles texted me. He's like, "Are you watching it?" Oh crap! Let me turn
That's
that
what
on.
I'm saying.
I knew all about it because, like I said, I just knew about like the.
So I
Troy
watched from the
Polamalu.
second quarter to the end, and it was 6-6 at the half. The MVP of those games were the DBs because there was a ton of picks in those games. Those
Well, 'cause the
quarterbacks were
quarterbacks are
terrible.
I saw Christian Hackenberg's one of the quarterbacks.
Now here's the problem going forward. I only have one, so they're going to have a game next weekend
There's a game on now.
on CBSSN. I don't even get it. I don't have CBS Sports Network. I don't have it on my
Wait,
DirecTV.
don't you have AT&T? Oh,
My DirecTV now doesn't have it.
because I had to look for it. It's like 16-26
Yeah.
or something.
I don't think they'll have. Are they having games on CBS other
That-
than that week one?
So that was my thing.
That's
so
the only
week
one,
2,
right?
The only game I'm going to get on my DirecTV Now package is a TNT game.
But some of them are on NFL Network.
I don't know. I don't get. So
I'm not
I
sure.
searched the AAF
Again,
stuff.
terribly advertised. Nobody knows what it
Yeah,
is.
How long is the season?
10 weeks, I think.
Yeah, 10 weeks, and there's 8 teams total, and they're all below some certain line to adjust for the weather, apparently, which doesn't make sense because they were playing in the Alamo Dome. So what does the weather have to do with
Yeah.
anything? I
Well,
don't
basically,
know.
all the teams are Southern or West Coast.
But are they all in cities that don't have teams?
no.
Yeah. Well, there's like a Birmingham team.
Well,
which
that's
I
the
thought
only
was
way it'll
kinda
work.
neat.
If
There
fans are
was
going
a
to,
San
you can't put a
Antonio
team in New York or L.A.
No.
I think-
Nobody's going to go. It's got to be those little
San
small
Diego,
towns.
there's a team in San
Yeah,
Diego.
it's like minor league baseball.
To me, though, I think the only way it works is if you don't try to compete with the NFL, you literally just be an accompaniment. And that's why I think this can work. This is like NFL Europe, basically, in South, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in
the one thing surprised me was how many people. I didn't see all the games, obviously, but the stadium was half full of people.
Which stadium
The one
was
we
it?
watched.
Dude, there's no way. I don't know what stadium you were looking at. The whole upper
They were
bowl
sounded
was
pretty
wide
loud
open.
when they scored.
I think they got extra because they did a lot of things with audio. That's
Well,
what I
there's
was
more
telling
people
you.
there than I thought would be there.
Okay, I'll
Well,
give you
they're-
that.
I
I'll
thought
give you
maybe
that.
2,000 people
They'll
were going
give
to
you
be there.
camera angles where it looks like there's a lot of people
Yeah,
there.
there was no one in the whole
It's
upper
like
bowl.
wrestling, Steve.
If it holds
Yeah, they're gonna
80,000,
tarp it off.
if it holds 80,000, I would have to say maybe 10, 15,000.
I think there's
right?
probably about that. Yeah.
That's still more than I thought.
In a stadium that huge, though, it looks like no one's
Well,
there.
imagine the great parking you got.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably got out of there pretty quick. That's
Yeah,
pretty easy to do.
I don't know,
The other
man.
thing I would say, I don't know if you remember when the XFL started back. When was that? 2000 or way back?
Yeah, it was a long time.
This football wasn't as sloppy as that was then. XFL when it started was really sloppy, and that's why it failed.
I think that it failed because
well, they also
immediately-
promised a lot more stuff.
They immediately fired shots at the NFL. Whereas like
Yeah.
this alliance thing is like, hey, look, we're not trying to. I think that's a better way to go at it. 'Cause
And the XFL also offered, I don't know if you remember at the time, they were going to have like basically reality shows where the players are dating the cheerleaders and all this other
that's
crap.
much, man.
Yeah,
That's a little much.
they went over the top with it, and it failed miserably.
Listen, if one of these leagues don't have Johnny Football in it,
Yeah,
not
that's
gonna make
true.
it.
When are they signing him? He's
there
got
needs
to be coming.
Tim Tebow needs to be in this league. Johnny Manziel.
I heard they get 200,000 is what all the players get. Base salary 200,000.
Oh, there's
I
no
could
way.
be wrong.
There's no way.
I don't know. Maybe
There's
I'm
a lot
wrong.
of names attached. I believe it's possible.
Maybe maybe that's just the coaches. I don't know what the players.
Mike Martz is eating that 200K, baby. I'm telling you. Mike Martz was looking healthy.
So now the question is for everyone here. Next year, XFL is back. Did you know that?
I know, but
Yeah.
I don't care. 'cause
So
they're
what's
gonna
going
do
to
it
happen there?
stupidly.
Are they going to compete directly with the AAF?
Yeah.
Or what's is there enough good players to go around for an XFL next spring? Wiggs,
Depends
what
on
do you think?
contracts.
Well, there's players. It's not that there's good players. There's not enough good players in the AFF, whatever it's called, to compete.
I mean, there's names. There's like
Well,
Trent
there's
Richardson and
names.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
you got guys that just couldn't make it.
I think it's smart. I do. I think this league is way smarter than the XFL. They're literally just going for like a minor league vibe.
Yeah, but can they? That's fine. But
You're
going
going
to
to get
survive
three,
on that.
Yeah, but they're going to get 3 or 4 people that are going to be big names that'll push up and all that kind of stuff. I mean, how does minor league baseball survive, Wiggs? You know what I mean? Like,
Because they're getting footed from the pro
Yeah,
teams.
I
So it's not like the
guarantee
New
you-
York Giants are like paying
But
for the Rochester or whatever. In
but
this,
I
this
guarantee
league.
you there's more NFL ties in this league than there was in anything
We'll
else.
see in
random.
3 or 4
I can't-
weeks how the
'cause
viewership is. Anybody want to watch it?
If you watch the pregame with Kurt Warner and all that stuff, they talked NFL the whole time. Like they don't, you know what I mean? Like all signs point to this has to have ties to it. I guarantee you it does.
AFL, yeah, AAF does.
Yeah.
That's what it was in the interview. Actually, they interviewed Heinz Ward.
Yeah.
He's the some player
development or something like that.
That's the interview I saw, and they said that a lot of it is just them trying to cooperate with the NFL.
Yeah.
So
I think it's
XFL,
smart.
now XFL I know is launching 8 teams next year, and they're in the big cities. Unlike they're going to be in Chicago, New York, L.A., cities like that. They're not going in the smaller cities like the AAF did.
But I think that,
so is
to
that
Wiggs'
gonna work?
point, that's smart to go to a city, to go into a Birmingham and put a team there where, like, here's a bunch of football fans that don't really have
they
a local
can't go
product.
see that stuff. That's where you got to put
I
those
think
teams.
it's smarter.
You can't go to who wants.
I think the XFL's a disaster. I think we'll at least get 6 or 7 seasons out of this league.
You
is
think
my
somebody
theory.
for XFL is going to sit in Soldier Field in February to watch that crap?
Yeah.
No. Nobody goes to LA games for the Rams or Chargers. They're not going to go to that.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next year. It's kind of weird. We go from 1 league to like 3 in like a 2 year span. I can't believe.
I think there's
bringing the
room
XFL
for more
back.
football. I really do. I mean, I think that there is, but I think that the smartest way is to just say, hey, look, we're an accompaniment to this league. We're not, you know what I mean? Like, I'll bring in that talent. We'll work them up. We'll give them some reps and all that. I think it's smart. I really do.
Anybody going to rock any of the AAF gear?
I saw the jerseys. It looks like minor league JV football.
I thought it was neat that they put the helmets. They put the numbers on the side of the helmets. All teams have the helmet
The logo on one side, number on the other.
I wasn't as down on the product. I really wasn't. I thought
I didn't think it was
that
too bad. A lot of interceptions. Very defensive, which is ironic because they were trying to make it offensive.
But to Wiggs' point, that's lack of offense making defense. I think.
Yeah, they didn't have a preseason either, right? So maybe by week 3 or 4, it might be a little
It
bit.
takes offense's time to gel too. So
Yeah.
Because the Sandiego team pulled the quarterback. So they switched quarterbacks like at the second half. So.
Yeah, near the end though.
But it was more than just the end. It was pretty
was
early
it?
in the third quarter. They
So
yanked
who's
their
like the
quarterback.
elite name in the league?
Mike Martz.
No, I'm talking players. I know
Steve
you,
Spurrier.
you were saying all the
It might be
pre-
Trent
Richardson
Richardson
is one of the big ones that they're talking about. He's playing in Birmingham, which is a big deal. There's the biggest thing that they, and to Steve's point, the biggest thing that they did was they lend itself credibility by putting a bunch of NFL Hall of Famers attached to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but that's all you see is like you said, coaches and stuff. I want to know who the players.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say,
I don't
is-
care if Troy
but
Polamalu
what-
was a GM of whatever.
The game
league.
I watched, I didn't recognize one player.
You're looking at
I
it in a
couldn't
way
tell
if they
you.
want to spin a whole league off. I don't think that's the vibe.
No, I don't think they want to
I
spend a
think
league
it's-
either.
you
I'm
take
saying
a
the
bunch of
quality of
people-
plays got to be decent. I don't care who's running the
And
team.
I think it was decent enough. It would be my argument. I think they're taking a lot of those borderline practice squad players and are trying to get them going and trying to get because like you got Daryl Johnson's the general manager of the San Antonio team. I think a lot of those like older Cowboy guys have these GM aspirations at NFL. I think it's smart. I really do.
It's coming off as a training ground for NFL.
That's
now.
all it is.
We'll see if anybody makes it.
I would make the argument years ago who would watch the combine, but people are watching the combine.
Man, that's so boring.
But
When I
people
was
do.
younger, I thought it would be awesome, but then once I watched
my
it, I was like,
God.
I immediately regret that decision.
Would you rather watch this or the combine?
Well, this. I don't want to
Yeah.
watch guys run 40-yard dashes all day.
So I think it's a viable thing. I
They
really
should,
do.
Wiggs is right. XFL or AAF needs Johnny Manziel. One
They
of
do.
them's got to
You got to have Johnny Football in the league.
Yeah, he's got to show
You
up.
have to.
There's no way around
You
it.
need star power.
I don't know.
I don't think you do. I
Tebow
think
might
that
be a little old.
the model of like selling an individual jersey isn't what they're going
No,
to
but
go
if you want
for.
to watch, I'm talking. You want to watch football from a fan standpoint. I want to see Johnny Football run around and pull cheese.
But
Steve
what they-
I
Spurrier
wanna
is his
see-
coach.
What they would
I'd
look
sign
at
up for
it,
that in a minute.
but what they're looking at, Wiggs, is as a football fan, what are you going to watch?
Steve
You know what I
Spurrier
mean?
and
There's
Johnny
nothing
Football
else
in
right now.
Orlando.
They're not doing any kind of competition with the NFL.
No, I know.
so
that.
it's just
They
lack of
can't-
options. They're like, hey,
Well,
look,
next
you
year
know,
they're going to have competition with that AAF.
I don't
Yeah,
think the
Bob
XFL.
Stoops is a GM of whatever team
So-
was in Dallas.
So they got to do something to make it spazzed up and make people watch. So it's going to be CBS versus NBC because NBC's going to be
NBC's the XFL.
So both
stuff.
of them, yeah. McMahon has a big contract with NBC. So both of them are going to be competing. It gives them both reasons to watch their stupid sports networks that nobody watch. Who watches NBC Sports Network or CBS
It's
Sports
just,
Network?
I think that
very rarely.
How does Vince McMahon check his ego? That's the biggest.
I think
That's
he could have
Achilles
possibly
heel.
learned from the first failure.
Yeah, that's true.
That's one thing you would
He
hope.
has to.
Boy,
he
got
has to.
He's put a lot of money into revamping this. Why I don't know. But
yeah, it seems weird timing and everything. Especially
That's
with
my.
AEW.
I just question because, like, again, I thought that this Alliance Football thing, again, terrible name. It should just be Alliance Football or something. I don't know, but I think that they did a lot of humbleness to it. Like, hey, look, we're just the smaller league trying to get guys reps.
Why couldn't they just call it American Football League?
I don't know.
AFL.
Man. That's terrible. That name is terrible.
I mean, AFL.
They should have just been like they said, like the G League or something.
just call
They've
it
just been like
minor
the Junior
football league.
Cowboys,
Yeah,
and
MFL.
stuff. They really should have been, or like just straight up, like stole it from the NBA.
Yeah. So there you go. Our look at the AF. And then XFL, and then who's going to win? It'll take some years, probably 2-3 years before we figure it out which one gets fired first.
Well, how many years did the NFL Europe exist? Does anyone have a clue?
I want to say 10 years. Well, see, when it first came out, 2 or 3 years of it was on TV, and it was trying to be promoted. And then it disappeared, but it was still going.
Yeah.
I don't know how many. You'd have to look that up. Probably, I'd say 7 years would be my guess.
You think it went that long?
Yeah, because then the Steelers signed Tommy Maddox, was that?
No, he come from the XFL.
Oh, was it XFL? Yeah,
Yeah.
Steelers signed one of them from
Yeah,
one
he
of the
played
leagues.
for like the LA
and
team.
he
that won
hate me
championship.
showed up for a while in the
Yeah,
NFL
he played
too.
for the Eagles, I think.
Yeah, so there are some guys that did make it. So
They're saying here it was found, at least Wikipedia, I don't know.
it's got to be
The
true.
inaugural season was in 91, which I'm assuming they're including the World League or whatever that was. They ceased in 2007.
So wow, 16
2007.
years.
Yeah.
That's longer than I thought.
I know, like Troy Aikman called games for that when he was getting into the business.
Yeah,
And I think that's just, I think they have to, I just don't think the XFL's willing to just be a minor league. That's not Vince McMahon's MO.
oh yeah, man. Well, they might go get Johnny Football and Tim Tebow. Who knows? It'd be interesting to see if either one of them takes off. Because I hope it does. Then we get football all year long, and the wives will be pissed.
My daughter's already ticked.
So it'd be like, oh. So there you go. Look at the NFL. Now, Wiggs brought us a little gift today, and some kids have played this before in the past. We're going to try it here live. This is called BeanBoozled. Now, the secret behind this is you don't know what flavor bean you're going to
They
get.
basically chuck a bunch of them in a box.
Yeah, you get one good one and then one bad one in the same color. So, like, one might be like, I don't know, cherry, and the other one might be snot. So
Okay.
you never know what you're going to get.
So they visually they look the same.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
like
you
one's
don't
like
know.
blue raspberry, other's like toothpaste, but they're both
Okay.
blue.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is the trick behind it.
Is there a good side, bad side of the box? Is it like a nerd box? Is it split? Or is it
No,
just
no,
one
they're
big
all
box?
mixed in.
So you don't
You
know.
just grab a jelly bean and stick
Check
it in your
some on
mouth.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah, give them all. No, you got it. That's fine. You take them all.
God.
What? I'm not eating that many. I got diabetes.
Don't use that as an excuse right now.
So I've got like a translucent orange speckled one.
Because they got them on the back. What's what?
Yeah, I got one that looks like skin color, and then a yellow
God,
one.
there's a lot of them.
That tasted awful.
What was it?
What color was it?
What color was it?
Orange and It's like orange with red speckles.
That could be either dead fish or barf.
It's got to be barf. Oh my god.
Let me try one here. This one
That's
looks flesh
terrible.
colored.
These
Oh,
are terrible.
man.
I got a normal one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh man.
What color is the flesh colored one?
Was it coconut?
Yeah,
Or
I think that's
spoiled
it.
milk is the other flesh colored
No,
one.
it's not spoiled milk.
These are terrible. I got another vomity looking one.
Charles got lucky on 2 of them in a row.
All right, let's see what we got.
Did you bring a beverage with you?
Yeah, I have one. I
what
wonder
color
what
is that? It's like a
chemicals,
light
how they
yellow?
do that, like how they extract that taste. Like that's impressive work by whatever scientists have
Oh
made
man,
the Bean Booze.
what is the light yellow one? Oh, that's disgusting.
That's a rotten egg.
I just got a live fart in my
It
mouth.
looked like that was the 5th edition of these. These must be really popular by idiots. So
When we went down to the drive, I think it was the drive-through.
I'm like 3 for 3 for decent ones. Yeah, really, Charles got all the bad ones.
The drive-through safari one, Holly and her friend were playing this on the way down. They would try different jelly beans.
that is brutal. I think I got the rotten egg one after Steve.
Oh, that rotten egg one's
What's
gross.
the solid brown one, Wiggs? What do you
That's
got?
the canned dog food. That's when Heather was saying with
Oh, do it.
What
try
can
one
it
more.
be if it's not canned dog food? What's the good side?
chocolate pudding.
Oh, please, chocolate pudding. That is not chocolate pudding.
Well, see, I already got a white one. Let me go with this orange one. What did you say the orange one
I
could be?
hate jelly beans. Dude, like we were
Yeah, this
talking
is-
about.
You got that?
Oh,
What is the orange one here? I
what
can't.
on
I can't
earth,
read that
man?
shit.
What
I
chemical
got-
is that? How do they do that?
I don't know.
It's either dead fish or bar for the orange ones.
Great.
Oh, it's so disgusting. Ugh. It's got to be dead fish.
Oh, great. Lucky
Neither one of those are
I think I
good.
got the same one.
Holly gave me advice and said aim for the blue ones because even the
I haven't seen
toothpaste
a
ones.
blue one.
Oh, yeah. We got no blue in the box.
You know, I'm just gonna bottoms up the rest of these.
Wow, you just put a whole bunch in your
So
mouth.
what's the white with the
Oh
blue?
man, where the first one I bit was terrible.
What's the white with the blue specks? What's that?
Oh man.
This is not fun.
This is kind of gross.
It's like a
All right, it's either toasted marshmallow or stink bug.
Oh, stink bug.
Or stinky socks. That could be the other one.
no, that's marshmallow. Ha! Yeah, that's a fun game.
Your wife wants to know how you didn't get a bad one.
I don't know. I think Charles took all the bad ones.
Yeah, no, Charles got lucky. Ugh, I'm done with those.
What's like the light yellowy?
That was the one I had. I got the gross one, the rotten egg or whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna put that one back.
Can't find a blue one, huh?
The trick is if you eat like
There's
20 of them
no
at the same
blue
time.
ones here at all.
No, there is not.
That's what Holly said. The trick is aim for the blue ones.
Dirty dishwater. I mean, it's a fun game. Did you buy these like at the candy aisle? Just like a basic
Amazon.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, that's a fun game. Dare to compare.
They've been around for a while.
This is the fifth
and her-
edition, so yeah, they're
Holly
pretty
and her
good.
friend, they make like a Harry Potter one too.
It's pretty amazing that they can
Spot
somehow,
on.
Yeah, wow.
I don't know how they do that. What kind of chemicals
yeah, I
are in
was
those
gonna
jelly
Who's
say.
beans?
trying them in the R&R development room? You're like,
Whose job is that? Try this rotten egg jelly bean. Oh man, do I gotta? And the barf one was pretty gross too. So at your local candy store or Amazon, you can get
BeanBoozled.
BeanBoozled. Never know what you get.
Fun game.
Kids have been playing it for years, and us old men just ate them and we're like disgusted by all of them.
In a world
We shotgun like 5 of them. didn't we?
that's the key.
Yeah, they're all
You
mushed
get some
together.
bad ones and you get some good ones mixed together.
Wiggs cheated.
yeah, wow.
Wow, there you go. BeanBoozled. Wow. Now, in the future taste test, we were talking about this today. Ryan Reynolds has a new gin out we'll be trying. What was the other one, Bill?
Aviation
mentioned?
gin, and then BV tipped us off to the Matthew McConaughey Wild
Oh, he's got a
Turkey
bourbon, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's called Long Branch Bourbon.
Oh,
And
we got to
that's-
bring Wiggs in for the bourbon. We gotta
Yeah,
have,
feel
we gotta have
free.
some bourbon.
Come
Wiggs.
on back for it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Yeah,
check
after you
those
drink it,
out.
be all right, all right.
All right. I gotta
Or
wear
you-
my Texas Longhorn shirt. I get one. Be like, all right.
Start talking about Lincolns all the time.
Yeah.
I don't understand those Lincoln commercials. Him, by the way, they make no goddamn. You see the latest one? He's like
That's
playing
the point,
pool.
though. I think.
Yeah, selling a lifestyle.
He's like
man.
playing pool, and then he just goes drives a Lincoln.
He looks
I don't,
cool.
I don't understand.
know. He looks pretty
I
cool.
don't get it. And then another one where he jumps in a pool, and then he's not in the pool, and he tries. I don't know. Matthew McConaughey, he's his own thing.
He's an enigma.
So BeanBoozled, and then some more future liquors. We'll have to get those going. I was trying to find those, and I will find them. There's these chocolates where you get a pack of 10. They all look identical. 5 of them have ghost pepper in them.
We'll die.
And we all take one
Dude,
and don't know
that's-
which one we have. I'm going to get that eventually.
Great.
We're all going to
Well,
be
did
like,
you have to listen to local radio where they did the wings with the 2.4 million
Yes,
Scoville
yes.
units?
What
Mike
pepper
Valeni,
was it?
97.1. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was a whatever the hottest
It
pepper
was a
mix.
million.
Carolina Reaper.
But it was like
or
it was
something,
like T.J. Lang was in on it. And
Yeah,
he took
he
like
took
a half
one
a
bite.
bite and it dropped him to his knees, man. He was done.
He was eating ice cream the rest of the show.
swirled it around in his mouth where he wouldn't even talk because it was
Yeah.
so hot just to talk.
They were crying. One guy took his shirt off because he was sweating so bad from me.
I can
and the
handle that
comparison,
crap.
they say the
man.
Blazing Wing at Buffalo Wild Wing is 300,000 Scoville units.
And this was
2.4.
Wow, 8 times hotter. Wow, that's crazy.
That's going to give you an ulcer eating that.
Dude, that's like burn a hole. That's like the dude cooking them's like wearing gloves and
Yeah,
PPE.
they all had
Yeah.
gloves and
I don't even think Bill could eat those.
Oh, that would tear, that would
Shots
tear you
fired,
up.
BB.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, we're going to have to get some super hot
Bulge
ghost
you
pepper
out.
wings for
Where
Bill.
were they from? Did they say where
Someplace
they were from?
downtown.
There's some
Yeah,
place out there.
they bought the pepper somewhere, and the guy at the wing company, he made the sauce or whatever. And
The one kid ate 2 full wings though. That was on it because Valenti was like, "Give anyone $100, eat the second one." He was like, "Oh, I need the money."
You probably can't taste at that point. I mean, it's just hot. Hot is hot.
You're just crying.
The next day's got to be. I couldn't imagine going to the bathroom the next day. That's got to be the worst.
Everything just hurts.
Could you imagine that?
I'd have a gallon of milk right next to me, just pour it down my throat. It'd be crazy.
And I don't think that would really help.
They said the worst part was like 30, 40 seconds later. Like,
Yeah,
you
it just
eat it,
hits you.
not too bad. Then it just hits you out of nowhere. They said they had trouble breathing and swallowing after that.
I can't do that. I can't. There was one time Heather and I went to a Thai place. It's right Bangkok 96. It's on Telegraph right over here.
I've been meaning to try that place.
Really popular place. It was jamming when we went in there, and I was
I
like,
will
you know,
knock you out, man.
dude,
If it's hot.
I like a little bit of spice. I like spice of flavor. I'm a big Frank's Red Hot guy. I think that tastes good. Oh my God, Steve, my lips hurt. I was like, this was crazy.
What did you order? The extra hot?
It was
You ordered the mild?
dude, like their medium road kind of thing,
Yeah.
like not like completely mild, just like a medium. Oh man, Steve, to Wiggs' point, that Thai food killed me.
I got a
Heather's
story
looking at-
for you on that. I was in a restaurant in New York, Thai place. Never had it before. And I liked hot food at the time. So I was like, at the time,
Not
I was
since.
like, I want it hot, and she was like, seriously, you want it hot?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take it hot." So they bring the food. I'm eating it. I didn't think it was hot. The waitress come back 3 different times, and she's like, "How are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm doing fine." You know, she comes back in,
piss and blood,
and she's like, you're all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine. It's not really hot." And she's like, kept giving me this look. So she comes back, and she said that the guy forgot to put the spice in it. So she takes my plate. Okay, I already ate probably half at this point. Comes back with it. She goes, "Now it's the way you ordered it." That, man, it lit me up. I think I took like 2 bites.
They did that
Like
shit
straight on fire.
They're trying to teach you a lesson. That's all that was.
Yeah, but their Thai spice versus regular spice is a whole nother level.
What was the meal that you were eating? I mean, what is a good Thai meal? I don't
It
even
was
know.
like I don't want to say pad Thai, but it was like a big noodle dish, a lot of veggies in there, some chicken chunks. It was good food, but man, I'm telling you, Steve, even if you think, just go mild, man. Like
Medium's like too hot.
dude, that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't go crazy. I didn't even wait.
The mild's got to
okay.
kick. Yeah, I learned my lesson that time. It's
So
like,
you took a medium or what? What level was yours?
it was hot.
Yeah.
Because I'm expecting just like hot. I didn't know Thai hot's at a whole nother
yeah.
level.
This level's called numb mouth.
Yeah,
you
this
want to
level-
try it?
I do recommend that Bangkok 96. It's a really nice place, but man, I didn't know, to Wiggs' point. I didn't
No,
know.
if you get it hot, they could make you bring any type of dish. You're not tasting what's in the dish. You're just tasting heat.
This level of hot is called make you drool. Go ahead,
Yeah.
give it a try.
Yeah, burn, burn, burn.
All right, let's go to the movies. Let's go and see what people watched this week. Of course, I watched on DVD. And Wiggs, are you a fan of Kevin Hart?
It depends.
Yeah,
He's funny, and then sometimes it's just over the top, and
Yeah.
it's a miss.
I like his stand-up. And so I saw Night School with him and Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish.
If you've seen either one of them in any movie, you've seen this movie. 'Cause it's the same
They're doing
thing.
the same act
Same act,
thing.
same thing. He's down on his luck. He has to go to night school to get a better job. Bunch of bad things happen, and he screams and acts scared all the time. And she's yelling and beating him up half the time. So it's not a bad movie. It's just been there, done that, by the numbers comedy. Rob Riggle's in it. I like that guy, but nothing stuck out to me that was like, oh my god, that's hilarious. So kind of a bummer.
Is it like a straight up just catch on HBO type movie? Is that basically?
Yeah. Late night TNT, whatever you want.
TNT.
I mean, it's not.
He's not even paying for HBO.
Yeah, I mean, there's no cussing or real nudity in it, so it's not like you're even an edited version. You're not missing
Miss
much.
nothing.
So it was okay, not terrible, but whatever. Now this next one in the '90s.
We talked about this on the show. Yeah.
I never really watched Carmen Sandiego much in the '90s. Like Charles did, it was more his age bracket, I think. I watched the first episode on Netflix of Carmen Sandiego.
Now this is a completely animated version
Yes,
of the show. Right?
I fell asleep halfway through. That's how good
I don't
this
think
was.
you're the target audience.
No,
I'm gonna
it
be honest
wasn't.
with you.
Well, Michelle wanted us to watch it because she loved Carmen Sandiego when she was a kid. But even she was saying it's nothing like in this one, Carmen Sandiego's a thief. I don't know what she was in the '90s. She went to a thief academy, some kind of academy, and graduated from it, and now she steals things all over the world.
The
And-
first show I remember to be more like live action, kind of teaching you geography.
Where in the world's Carmen
Yeah.
Sandiego? That's
Yeah,
what I
it
remember.
was
I'm trying to remember
kinda-
how that went,
Yeah.
This is kind of. It's not really. That.
Wasn't
I
it
mean,
like a
Is
she
she like the red haired girl off the Progressive commercial or whatever? Like that one. Like,
she wears a red
she's
coat
always
with a red hat.
shooting in and stealing a diamond and running off, kind of thing. And then you got to figure out.
Well, she's throughout, and they tell her backstory about how she went to this thief university type thing, and she had a bunch of friends, and then I don't know. I fell asleep through half of it. It wasn't good. The animation was okay. There's like this bumbling detective and his sidekick that are chasing her, and I guess she does go to different locations. But
could you see because again the original one was very educational. I would argue.
I didn't feel this was education. This was
Okay.
kind of more of a story. They were trying to make a story out of it, and more of a series, not really education. But she does rob different places in the world, not just in America. So she's like in France and
And they don't explain to you about that particular region of the world.
No,
Okay.
there's nothing
I
educational.
want to say
about
that's how the OG show was.
this
Yeah.
one's much more feels like a drama cartoon series.
Some of the OG one was like a giant game board with the
And
globe.
they
Yeah,
would
it's
solve
not-
to it based on facts. of the
nothing
region.
to do with that. So, and I didn't like it. Holly, who is probably the age bracket for the show, she didn't like it,
No.
and Michelle didn't like it, who's a nostalgia fan. of it.
Netflix show, right?
Netflix, yep.
Okay.
I only made the first episode. Maybe I'm being a little critical. Maybe I need to watch all 13. That's not going to happen. I do need some good sleep, so maybe, I don't know. So stay away from Carmen Sandiego. Now, this one's fresh off the frying pan right here. I just saw this today. It's hot. It's a hot take. I saw Lego Movie, the second part, it's called.
I just rewatched the first one the other day, most of the way through with Lorna, and that first one's fantastic.
Yeah,
It
I've
really
seen the
is
first one a
funny
million
movie.
times.
It's a
I like
great
it.
movie.
I like the first one. This one's good. Don't get me wrong. I like the movie. I thought it was
Did it
entertaining.
have the adult humor, like the
Yes.
Shrek vibe to
Yes.
it that the first one did? Okay.
Yeah,
But all the
Not as heavy
all the
as the
Lego
first one.
ones do though. Seems like
One thing I love they do is they'll have a name for something, like the crackle in the first one,
Yeah.
and this one's called, the thing they're trying to avoid is storage. You know what?
Storage unit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a storage unit. For the, so they're trying to. That's like their apocalypse. They don't want to go to the storage. So I like when they do those kind of things. There's a lot less cameos in this one. I remember the hall with all the Ninja Turtles.
yeah.
This one had some basketball players, Harley Quinn, the Justice League, and like Gandalf, and that was about it. There wasn't really any other.
Well, Gandalf was in the first one. Was Morgan Freeman the name or whatever? Like, wasn't Morgan Freeman?
Yeah. This one I don't know who Gandalf
Yeah, because
was.
they can't use Morgan Freeman anymore because he harasses women.
Most of the voice actors are back in this one. The only knock on this one I give it is a lot more. They try to shoehorn a lot more musical numbers in. Like Tiffany Haddish again shows back up.
Everything was awesome. Was huge when
They got
that
one.
came
Literally,
out.
the name of the song is "This Song Will Get Stuck in Your Head." They say
funny.
so it's funny. But Tiffany Haddish had 2 custom songs for her character, and there was a lot more singing in this one than there was in the first one.
Okay.
But the underlying story
You got a
is
lot of Will Ferrell in this one too.
no, very little. He doesn't even. You don't see him. You hear his voice,
Yeah.
but you don't see him. Like he left his Legos to his kids,
Okay.
and you just hear going, "All right, I'm out, going golfing." And you just hear the door shut. So he just gave his collection to his kid. So the moral of the story is a brother and a sister trying to get along and play Legos is what it is in the background. Nice. Holly liked it. She's the proper age group for it. I mean, I liked it. A lot of humor in it. He builds a time machine. Well, one of them does. And he takes chunks from the DeLorean and then Bill and Ted's phone booth and then the Doctor Who machine. So that was even the hot tub from Hot Tub Time Machine. It's like I also took it from this weird hot tub. And so there's a lot of humor like that. So if you like the first one, definitely see the second one. I didn't see it in 3D, Charles. Sorry, I can't tell you. They even got Duplo Legos in this one, the bigger ones. So it's funny. Still got a lot of dull humor. A little bit too much singing, but not that big a deal. So highly check it out. Now, the question I got to ask you two guys, is there getting a little Chris Pratt fatigue? Is that happening?
For me, no.
Because
I
in this
like
movie, Chris Pratt plays 2 characters. You hear his voice twice.
really?
Yeah.
What's the other character he's playing?
Rex Dangervest, and he kind of helps.
Well, that's kind of
Emmett.
working it out of the Parks and Rec stuff where he was the FBI
Yeah.
agent.
So
it's kind of
there's
funny.
there's a reason for it. But I'm just wondering because I know a lot of people that recently there was a news report. There was a girl played from Juno. I can't think of her name.
Oh, Ellen Page?
Yes. She criticized him because he belongs to some big church now that's very anti-gay and very anti-lesbian. And all
He is
that.
very religious. I know that. I know
And he really advertises his church a lot, and they don't hide the fact that they don't like gays and lesbians
yeah,
and
it's a
stuff
little
like
tough,
that.
man. If you want to be a mainstream guy like that, you
Yeah.
probably should back off of any kind of like polarizing thoughts and stuff
So
like
it
that.
got me wondering if there's any kind of Chris Pratt fatigue because he's been in a lot of stuff in the last 2-3 years or 5 years now.
I love Chris Pratt. I think he's hilarious. He's like the Rock kind of thing. He's just one of those likable dudes, you know.
And
what I
he's
mean?
actually in good movies, unlike The Rock.
yeah. Well,
Speaking of which, Gabe, did you see? Or Gabe, I'm
Gabe,
sorry.
wow.
Gabe. Speaking of which, Wiggs, did you see the Shaw and Hobbs trailer?
I've seen it.
What are your thoughts on that?
Another one of those movies. Man. They're all the same.
My point, there's not even any race cars in them at this point. They're just punching dudes with helmets.
One of
in the
these
head.
times, I'm going to go back and just literally watch every Fast and Furious movie from beginning to end.
Why would you do this?
I'm just
going
to marathon it one time just to
I
bang it
think
out.
you might drop IQ points if you do that. I'm just saying.
I'm going to follow the whole lineage exactly how they came out.
Oh, I don't know. First off, that's a whole weekend probably.
Yeah, was it like
Probably.
8 movies
Yeah,
now?
something
8 movies
like
and
that.
one shop and hall. Are you going to go see that movie? Wait.
No, God, no.
I can't remember the last movie Rock was in where I thought I gotta go to the theater. Like I didn't see the skyscraper one.
I tell you what, that wrestling movie he's making looks great.
But he's not the
Whatever
star.
Yeah, he won't
He's
be in
just
it that
I
much,
know,
though.
but that movie looks so good. What's that called? In the Family or
yeah,
Starts the Family or something?
Who Stephen Merchant directs that? I don't know if you know. Tall guy, glasses. He was in Hello Ladies.
Okay.
He's always Ricky Gervais's buddy.
He's
He's
I
a
know he
co-creator
is.
of
I
The
know.
Office.
He was the voice off of what do you call it? The video game. He played the eyeball Portal.
Yeah. So he's in that. He directed that actually.
Okay.
He was farming that movie around, and Rock helped him get it made.
Oh, it looks so good.
It looks funny. It does look good. Even wrestling based, but it still looks funny. So Wiggs not running out to see the next Rock movie.
No, I mean, they're all the same. I love The Rock,
The
too,
last
man,
good
but
Rock movie for me was Jumanji.
Yeah,
I
that
enjoyed
was.
Jumanji was good.
Yeah. But Skyscraper, San Andreas,
San Andreas, Baywatch was terrible.
When he ran up the side of that wave in a little boat on San Andreas, I was like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
out.
then a cargo ship's flipping over, but you got The Rock still going, man.
Just driving on that giant tidal wave. Only The Rock can drive up a tidal wave. He should have had an American flag and smoking a cigar as he was doing that, I swear.
Aren't they making a second one of those?
There's no way. The Baywatch
What?
movies?
No, San Andreas.
What, another earthquake? Now Nevada's going to fall off.
Hey, The Rock is
Just
there
gonna
in
keep-
any natural
every
disaster.
5 years a new
Maybe
man.
he'll be in like Tokyo or something.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
somewhere
He'll be
else.
in India saving Indian
Yeah, it'd be
people.
like a tsunami or something.
You know, I wouldn't put it past him. I would love for a movie
But
where
his
I walked
movies
out.
make big bank worldwide. They
He's
may not
such
do
a
that
likable
great
dude.
here, but
Like I
like,
said, Titan Games is awful, but
That show is terrible.
I had to check in on it.
found
'cause
it.
I'm like,
I
it's The
disagree.
Rock.
The Titan Games is awesome.
you like
American
that?
Ninja Warrior is 10 times better than it. How do you figure it's not better?
well, I mean, you see,
You watch it live. There's no
I
way
don't
you
watch anything live.
Oh,
I
I
watch
was gonna
sports.
say.
because they got a lot of emo backstory in that Titan games.
No, I mean, you see some of the stuff that people do is impressive.
well, yeah,
But there's
I
only
argue
6
that.
events in an hour or something like that.
That's
Like
'cause-
I just
45 minutes of it is backstory.
Well, there's no
Yeah.
difference. I mean, Ninja Warrior, you see 3 people fall in like 30 seconds. Like,
Yeah,
all right,
I
great.
don't know,
you
man.
slipped
I
off
just-
the
I don't like
handlebars.
Ninja
You fell
Warrior
in the
either.
water. No, I don't watch it
oh,
either.
Lorna will stab you. Lorna loves some Ninja Warrior.
They used to play that shit on Spike TV like every 5 minutes. Another episode of Ninja Warrior coming up on Spike TV. Oh yeah, so the Titan game, Wiggs is huge into. Did not know that. So now we talked about this last week, but I didn't get to watch
Yeah,
it. You did.
I checked it out.
Won't You Be My Neighbor documentary?
Hour and a half
Mr. Rogers.
documentary on Fred Rogers, the guy who played Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I did not know that show started in 1968 and went till the year 2000. 32 years of him playing Mr. Rogers. But
He's almost he's longer than The Simpsons at that point.
yeah, the nice part about it was they addressed a lot of stuff. They addressed kind of like the homosexual vibe that he gave a lot of people. They addressed like how people said he was a Navy SEAL. They hit
Did
on
they
all
say
these-
if he's gay or not?
He's not. He has a wife and 2 kids and stuff
Oh,
like
okay.
that. Unless the very big beard situation, and like I talked about last week, they addressed how he was in the forefront for like a lot of racial stuff and all that. Like with the one character, Mr. Clemens, that was the police officer on his show, and he would get into a pool with him at a time when there was separated public pools and all this stuff. Great documentary. I mean, it nailed all the questions that you would have about like how it came to be. He was really big into like child psychology. I didn't know all that, and that makes sense after you hear it as an adult looking at it, like how he knew how to kind of communicate with younger kids and all that stuff. Plus, he also saw like innocence in kids in a good way, not in like a creeper way. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
the problem.
it was a fantastic documentary. I highly recommend it. It's called "Won't You Be My Neighbor."
How long was it? An hour and a half?
About an hour and 40, something like that. It's available on a whole bunch of PBS is showing it now.
So was he in the military?
No, he was not. He was actually, he grew up a rich kid and went to seminary school. He was like a minister. Pretty crazy stuff. Yeah, there was just a lot of stuff I didn't know about him, and then like how he started to do like the characters, like the Daniel the Tiger character and the King. They addressed like all that stuff, and then like how he went into Congress because they were going to cut funding for public television and stuff, and he actually brought up all the good things that they do for PBS and all this stuff. It's just
When did he die?
2003, according to the documentary.
How old was he?
He was, I'm gonna guess like in his late 70s or something like that. Yeah, but he did the show up until the 2000s, which is crazy. So he only died 3 years afterwards. He's got 2 sons and a wife who's still around, who are interviewed vastly in this documentary and stuff. And
isn't that ironic how when people retire, they almost die immediately? Like Joe Pa died like immediately after retiring.
Especially ones that do it to that age.
Yeah, it's like, God.
That's that weird dad thing where you don't stay busy, you're going to die. You know what I mean?
It's true for a lot of people, though.
I don't know.
It seems to be. I mean, the facts say it might be true. I have to find a hobby, like a lot of hobbies.
And it was funny because as I was watching it, like I watched a ton of that, like in the 80s as a little kid. I watched way more of that than I ever assumed.
You did?
Yeah, I watched a ton of it. That was the part where you were ignoring me. And
can you imagine if they released a show like that today and how that guy would be labeled a creeper so bad? They'd be like, "That's a child molester
still
right
on
there."
the air, the same messages and everything, but it's an animated version called Daniel the Tiger.
Yeah, I've seen that many times.
And it's the same thing as Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, just without the dude. It admittedly, through adult eyes, it's weird to see, and it's very foreign to me to see this guy who really wants to see kids know that people love them and that they're special without any kind of, creeperness to it.
Yeah.
It's really hard to watch. It's like, well, why do you care about a kid? But like he genuinely cared. I don't know.
The ones that creeped me out was the ones when Holly was a kid, the Wiggles. There's like 5 dudes just singing with guitars to kids. I was like, why do I get the creep vibe with these people?
Well, and the thing is, like, I would look at like a Wiggles as like someone who saw a void and tried to fill it.
Yeah.
I feel like Mr. Rogers like genuinely wanted kids to know like you got a place in the world, and it's just the craziest vibe. I can't explain it, but it's really cool. And the documentary that they talk about is really good stuff. So I highly recommend it.
All right, check it out on Netflix. Wiggs, what's the big kids show Blake's into right now?
He don't really watch a lot of shows.
No?
It's all on tablet, man.
Wow.
YouTube.
Unboxing videos still?
No, I mean, he's huge into the Mario Odyssey. We've already beat the game, but he's like their little...
the little secrets and
he's all about the map, man.
He's all about the what?
The map. He'll go through...
He needs like completely filled in kind of thing?
You know, I used to get those strategy guides, books you would buy as a kid. He's like your version of strategy guide.
He needs to know
if you're trying to find something, he'll tell you, grab controller, where to go, put you in the right spot to find certain things.
That's cool.
But yeah, he don't watch TV.
But just that one game, though? He's not much into any other?
No, that's his obsession. Transformer still. Now there's things called bots.
What are bots?
They are like an inch
Minis?
big. There'll be a ketchup bottle, transforms into this, a grilled cheese.
So,
Another way to nickel and dime me. Huh?
It's a little grilled cheese?
Oh, yeah. One's like a shampoo bottle. One's a spray can.
They're not even
So
mechanical
they're like micro
anymore?
machine
They're like,
transformers
yeah.
or something?
And they
Where do
are
you pick those up at?
Target. They're a son of
they
a
are,
bitch.
aren't
To
You
get
got
the
to keep
arms
that
out of
kid
the
out
thing.
of Target.
Oh, man. It's terrible.
So is it one of those things, too, where you don't know what's in the package? It's like a blind buy thing, too?
Yeah, because he saw them. I never knew it. He was bots. I'm like,
rough, man.
so no, that's where they were first. Now they have them in the package where you know what you're getting. So the
okay,
first couple he got were just and be like it's like, oh, I got a boxing glove, and the boxing glove transforms in this little dude.
And so does it turn into like a transformer looking dude, or is it like a regular dude?
No, it's like it's like the
like a
boxing glove.
mechanized
Like
little dude.
the head may pop up and you'll see a face, and then like you'll pull the bottom of the glove down, and be legs and be arms and the sides.
Is there a show attached to it or anything like that?
There
or?
could be a YouTube show. I don't
We'll
know.
ask him next time.
Yeah, you can ask. Yeah,
You
I
must
no
have been, because he
idea.
knew it right away when he saw
Oh,
it.
yeah,
You know,
that's-
bot.
Wow.
Yeah, he finds toys that aren't even released yet. He'll watch like videos from like
He's very
the
exclusive.
2019 Toy Fair. I want this. I mean, this ain't even the show. It's not out yet till like summertime or spring.
It's like pre-order 2020.
Yeah.
Your son wants you to make it
Oh, he
happen.
tried to order bots on Amazon today. He was going to have them delivered because we're like, you got to wait till they're in Target. No, I'll have them delivered. And then he was on Jen's phone. She grabbed it. He would have one-click bought those things. They show up at the house.
You got to take
Put
all
the
your
pin on
usernames off
everything.
that.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. Wow.
You got to change all your passwords
That's
because of your
funny.
son. That's funny. So bots and
Bot-bots.
Mr. Rogers.
Yep. Next time you come over, you'll probably step on a few because they're tiny.
Oh,
They're like
man.
Legos.
Do they have play sets associated with them too?
Not-
or is it-
not yet.
Not yet.
That's
Well, I'll
sure
ask
they
him.
will.
He'll be like, oh, they're gonna have, okay.
They got to be probably like those little Shopkin things girls had. You know,
Yeah,
about
they're
that big.
about that size.
Yeah. How the hell you transform something that tiny?
You really don't like the grill. Like literally, you'll pull a section of say
Up
the
here,
the
down here,
ketchup
and it's
bottle.
like a
Let's
leg.
say you'll pull the head up and you'll see a little face, and then the feet will be at the bottom, and they're so hard to get out.
How much does a bot cost?
They're like depends. Like there's a pack of like 5 or like $10, or there's a bigger pack and they're like $14 or whatever. But
Don't make sense. Why would a grilled cheese turn into a robot?
but they're all like household items.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, there's like a popcorn bucket. There's
like if it turned into like a TV.
I like how you're okay with all things Transformers, but if a ketchup bottle,
Well, Transformers don't turn into a ketchup
if
bottle.
a beetle turns into a robot, Steve's listening.
what was like a
Ketchup bottle,
bonsai?
I'm
What was like a
out.
Too
bonsai
much.
tree? I'm like, what is this? It's a bonsai tree, and he's got they got pretty unique names.
He
You have to
knew it
ask
was a
him.
bonsai tree.
Oh, listen, man. He knows exactly what they are and what their names are and who he needs to get. He's got a check-off list that Jen printed out for him, so when he gets them, he like cross it off.
Puts his reading glasses on.
Yep. I already got this one. We don't want him.
Wow.
That's funny. I love Blake's new obsessions. They crack me up. All right, we're going to rapid fire so we can name off a bunch of stuff Wiggs will actually never go see. Nope. Or any of us, probably, because these aren't very good. But no, I'm going to take that back.
Pretty good.
All right, on Blu-ray this week, if you didn't catch it in theaters, Bohemian Rhapsody comes out. I'm a big yes because I really enjoyed it in the theater. Wiggs, what do you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Actually looks pretty
I
good.
want to say it comes out on the 12th, right? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Because we've been waiting on it to come out, so yeah, we're a big yes on that too.
All right. And now a lot of these already came out on digital. They always come out 2-3 weeks earlier on digital. We're just talking
Except for
Blu-rays.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
So yeah, so if you want to go to Family Video and rent these, you got to wait till then. The Front Runner. This is that weird one with Hugh Jackman when he played that weird some guy that ran for president back in the 80s. I'll wait for cable. No. Wiggs?
Yeah, no interest in that.
I'm a no. Yeah, I don't even know what it was.
And now this other one, this got a little bit of award buzz. It's called
Looked pretty compelling. Chick like lost her eye and stuff.
Yeah, Private War. This is about a biopic about a war correspondent named Mary Colvin.
In the Middle East somewhere, I believe. Yeah.
It's got the girl off of Gone Girl or one of those drama movies. I can't remember which one. Rosamund Pike, I guess her name is. You'll recognize her when you see her. She's usually in nominated dramas and stuff like that. But the movie looks interesting. I'm going to say it's based on a true story, a private war. I'm going to say yes. Wiggs, what do you think?
I'll say yes because you said the word war, and I
Yeah,
love war
but-
movies.
well,
Anything of
This is from a journalistic standpoint.
yeah, but some of those are good though.
But like, yeah, like her like context turn on her and stuff. I think it looks great. Yeah, I'm a big. Yes
She gets
for
screwed
this.
up and loses an eye. Somewhere.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
It's historical. And that's really it. Not much. We are in February, so keep that in mind, folks. Not a lot of stuff coming out. And then the new movies, this was hard to find, too. This one will depend, the movies, how much you like Rebel Wilson or not. Isn't it romantic? I guess it's a comedy where
Is
she's
it like Shallow Hal kind of vibe?
Kind of.
kinda.
I got that
She's
vibe
living
by
a
it.
romantic comedy for some reason.
Yeah, and
Everything
some-
happens.
Because she got
to
hit
her.
in the head or something,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
just like that one with Amy Schumer a year or two ago. Isn't it romantic? I'm going to say no, not a fan. Watch it on DVD.
No, I'm good. I only watch it on DVD.
I will because Michelle likes her.
And I'm a no. I can't stand Rebel Wilson. She's not funny.
Oh, not funny.
This is not like what is it? Those
I think
bad
she's
Pitch Perfect movies. Or
I think
whatever,
she's all right as the funny sidekick character where she's very limited in the movie.
What movie is this?
Well, this is
no,
gonna
no. I'm talking about what's the. Give me a good Rebel Wilson movie. Let's derail this.
Dude, he's threw you under the bus because you don't
the
have
one.
one.
No, the one with the chick from 50 Shades of Grey, and she's in it. Dakota Johnson, and she plays the best friend. And I can't think of the name of that damn movie. That's how good it was. But Rebel Wilson, she just played. She played the drunken, funny sidekick,
I know.
and she was very limited in it. She was all right in that.
To me,
But the movie sucked as a whole. So
she's
it's a bad
stealing
example.
roles from Melissa McCarthy, who's actually funny. I
Oh,
say no.
Not in a
true.
leading role, she's not.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to see
That
that
part-
one
I
where
still
she
haven't seen
sells
that.
the signatures. What is that? She got like award. She got like an Oscar nomination.
Yeah,
for
that's a drama though. That's
Yeah.
not comedy. I haven't seen that puppet one because you scared me from it
Oh,
so bad.
bad.
Did you see the puppet
No,
one?
but everything I read is terrible.
Yeah, so I've stayed away from it. I've seen it at Family Video 3 or 4 times. I look at HBO. I'll wait
Happy
for
Time
HBO.
Murders is the name of that terrible
I-
movie.
you-
And still
You
avoid it.
crapped on it so bad, I won't even come near it. And so the other big animated movie this month, besides the Lego movie, is How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Now this is completing a trilogy. I saw
Yes.
on the trailer.
I don't know if it's a trilogy because they also had a cartoon series and everything else.
I
so
don't know. I've
The
never seen 'em.
trilogy's a little loose, but I see these on Blu-ray. I really don't go to the movie to see too many DreamWorks movies unless they're really good. So I'm going to pass on this and say no. Wiggs, what do you think?
No, because I've never seen the first two, so why would I watch the third one?
And I'm the same as Wiggs. He just said it. Yeah, I've never even seen the first two. People love the first one. Got like nominated for that Oscar animation.
Yeah,
I want to say.
they're clever movies and they're different from the traditional princess kind of movies and stuff like
What's
that.
the broad stroke How to Train Your Dragon thing? What is the
There's-
broad stroke?
The first one I can tell you, it's a group of Vikings. They live on this island, and every night dragons were coming and wiping out their sheep and their horse. So, and then there's this little loser kid who's the son of the king of the Vikings. He pretty much was useless, and he befriends one of the dragons, and then the Vikings end up partnering up with the dragons and living life
so
together.
they can basically back the dragons off because they're not communicating.
So by the end of the movie, pretty much dragons act like dogs. Is what happens. And then the second one, I don't know. His dad dies and some shit happens. He finds a love interest. In
I saw that
second
trailer. His dad dies and shit happens.
one. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. They're not bad movies. They're kind of clever and a little different. Gerard Butler plays his dad, and that little skinny kid from Superbad. Not Superbad. You've seen him a million.
McLovin?
No, the other tall, skinny kid with black hair. He's in a ton of Judd Apatow movies. You'll know. I can't think of his name. So, anyways, now the next one is The Prodigy. This is that horrible horror movie with the girl from Orange Is the New Black, Piper. She's in this. She plays the mom. Apparently, her son's possessed and killing people. That's the name of this. The Prodigy is the name of it. That's the description of the movie. I'm going to say no. It looks like a terrible horror movie. Wiggs?
No, I'm not a fan of horror movies at all.
Yeah.
We're around the room. We're no.
I can't believe this is the movie she makes her movie debut in. It looks bad. Bert will be all over it. He'll watch it. Now let's go to streaming. Streaming is always fun. There's always unique things. This is where Charles spends 90% of his time.
Yeah, I love a good streaming service.
Now, I don't know if this is supposed to be comedic or serious. I imagine there's a little comedy in this. This is Kevin Hart's Guide to Black History. It seems like a special, a couple hours. I might check it out. Wiggs, what are your thoughts?
I'm on the fence on that one.
Is this like the John Leguizamo thing?
I think so.
Is it their black answer to the John Leguizamo?
It must be.
I did not like the John Leguizamo.
I didn't watch it. Was it any good?
No, I didn't. And everyone was gotta watch it. I checked out. I'm like, I kind of don't dig it
because it's on Netflix. It got inflated. That's why.
Yeah, I'm a no. So Wiggs was a no as well. Yeah.
Now I watched the first season of this. It was one of those in the background. This is an animated show, the Dragon Princess. So good I didn't know the name. Season 2 is out now. It was unique. It had like a cel-shaded 3D look to it. I like that. The story was kind of almost anime type deal. I'll probably watch second season. I'm a glutton for punishment, so I'm a yes. Wiggs, what do you think?
No, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm a no, big time too. I don't know what that is.
You know how you're always dying for sci-fi and something? I'm always dying for something fantasy-based because Game of Thrones isn't back till April. So the Dragon Prince kind of fit in that area, and same thing with that Disenfranchised by the guy from. So I keep watching all this.
Disenchantment or whatever.
Yeah.
I did not like that either.
Yeah, I know. I'm dying for a good fantasy show because Game of Thrones is over after this year, so I got to find a replacement. Pen 15. Now, these are two young girls. I don't have their name. They're comedians. It's supposed to be super funny. They're middle-aged girls, but they play 13-year-old versions of themselves. It's on Hulu. It's called Pen 15. If you look at the name, it kind of looks like penis. I guess that's the kind of the funny thing about it.
I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is Pen 15?
So it's these up-and-coming female comedians that play 13-year-old versions of themselves, even though they're middle-aged. It's like that, I don't know, did you see that show on Netflix where they're all in camp? They went to like summer camp. It was like Paul Rudd and Amy Poehler and all them. And they were acting like they're 15, but they're all like 40. It made no sense. And this looks like the same thing, but it's on Hulu, so no one's going to see it.
Dude, you watch a lot of TV. I've always known it, but man, you watch a lot of TV.
I'm dropping a bucket compared to that guy.
And I don't want to watch this. That's the best part.
So I'm a no on this. It looks like a cluster, but Hulu's really promoting
The
it.
problem is you said Hulu. All the Hulu original shows are terrible.
Well, this is one of them.
Wiggs? No for me.
I should have wrote the girls' names down. There's supposed to be some up-and-coming
because
female
that would have
comedians.
changed Wiggs' answer.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, this next one's on Amazon. The ABC Murders. It's about a serial killer in England, and he leaves some kind of ABC pan. It looks kind of interesting.
Is it a true story?
Yeah, that's the real question. True story?
I don't think so. I think it's a scripted series.
No.
They're chasing after the serial killer. No for me.
Serial
Wiggs.
killers are
True story, I would have watched it, but if it's scripted, no. I'll pass.
Okay.
I don't watch any of these these crazy serial killer shows. I'm a
Oh,
no.
they're good.
I don't like them. I'm not that
They're
into
creepy,
them.
but
What
I
about
don't
like
First
what about the
48.
fictional ones?
I don't watch the Ted Bundy stuff. I'm just not into it. Like Steve said, I want some sci-fi stuff. Is really.
I'm waiting
Now,
for fantasy. Charles is waiting for sci-fi.
So one of the shows you didn't bring on or didn't put on the list, I just wanted to bring up real quick because there's another Nailed It that just came out, but it's Nailed It Mexico.
Jesus Christ! They got
And
5,000 nailed it.
and that show's great, but like the problem was I watched it with my daughter, and we couldn't watch it because it was all subtitled and stuff like that. I'm like, oh,
read faster, Lorna. Read faster.
yeah, she's not quite there for the
Put
subtitle
Google Translate
movie.
up to the
Yeah.
thing.
So, but anyway, check it out. More Nailed It's always better. So, Nailed It Mexico hit today too, or just this week.
Now, it's funny that Wiggs says I watch a lot of TV. There's something that came on this week, and I watched it on Netflix, and it really depends on if you like Ray Romano or not.
Yeah, he's got a stand-up special.
I watched that. I
He
liked
did it
it
in
a lot.
two different venues. He's funny in stand-up.
I like his stand-up way better than his show.
because like Live at Carnegie Hall is one of my favorite CDs he's ever put out. That was years ago though.
Yeah, they show him walking, and he walks. It's like a little dive comedy club
Comedy
where he
cellar,
started,
yeah.
and maybe 20 people in there, and he does a half hour there. Then he gets out and walks over to the other club, which is right around the corner. And he does a half hour there. I like his humor because the three of us can relate. It's all middle-aged,
humor,
married
yeah.
guy humor. He's talking about when he goes on vacation. He's so happy that he gets to have sex because the kids that come. Doesn't have a little room. He just gets naked and runs around the room waiting. His wife does the vacation stuff and comes back. I thought he was really funny. Ray
Stand-up
Romano
is good. I didn't like
Yeah.
his show. I didn't like Everybody Loves Raymond, but I do like his stand-up.
And he's pretty much clean, but he does cuss here and there. Might drop a shit or something like that. Probably about equal to this podcast, really. I really enjoyed it. I don't think I've seen much of his stand-up, really.
He doesn't do it often.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's what I was just telling you. Like that Live at Carnegie Hall's got to be 15, 16 years old. So
Yeah.
he doesn't do it very often at
Yeah,
all.
but it's really good. I liked it.
It's
and
a
then-
Netflix special.
Yeah, and he's ripping on his sons and his wife the whole time. And at the very end, you see his sons and wife and his daughter and all them.
fun.
He calls his daughter the good one, rips on the other ones. His one son became a minister. Like, he's only 15. He did like what Heather did.
Oh,
he
okay.
didn't tell anybody. And he's like, are you a minister now? Yeah, whatever. And just walked away.
That's
So,
funny.
very funny.
check
Check
that out.
out
What's the
Ray
name of
Romano. Ray Romano special. I don't
Okay.
I don't know the name because
Google Ray or search Ray Romano.
it's one of those ones where I turned on Netflix and it was right
pops
there.
up,
I was like,
yeah.
oh, Ray Romano, I like him. And it was funny. It was good. So now we're going to go into Wiggs' favorite section of the pay-per-view of the
Pay-per-view.
podcast.
Wow, who's paying for this?
I'm going to quickly talk about some wrestling because
Oh.
Wiggs loves it so much.
Listen, I tried to get back into it. I'm gonna cut off your timed thing.
No.
It's terrible, man. I went to that live show with my nephew
Oh,
and
yeah,
brother,
yeah, yeah.
and I'm thinking, okay, man, I might get sucked back into this. No.
Did
I
the
couldn't-
live show? Let me ask the question. Did the live show have a little better feel to it than
Well,
watching
it was-
What show did you go to?
It was Raw,
It was
right?
a Raw taping.
Yeah, it was Raw, like right around, was it New Year's Eve or something
Okay.
like that? So,
And
I
did
mean,
it do it for you?
you
Was
know
it
what? Because like
different
when
in
Triple
the
H
venue?
came out, like, and nostalgia like that, half the people I didn't know. The music hits, crowd goes crazy. I have no idea who this guy is. I'm like, okay, that's somebody good. I'm like, okay, here comes somebody. I recognize a couple people that Gabe liked, but it was
Yeah.
like Dean Ambrose,
He's
and
terrible.
then
He's the guy who's leaving, right? Yeah.
Seth Rollins. That was when it came out. Crowd went nuts. I'm like, okay, I recognize this guy,
He's the
but I don't know
workhorse.
their music. But
He's the
Yeah.
one guy they stick on every show because he puts on good matches. Speaking of which, Wiggs brought this up, Charles, if you're interested. Next Saturday is the big
yeah, it's Clash
WrestleMania
Seize of the
event
Day or
Saturday.
something
Seize
like
the
that.
Day.
That's their like WrestleMania
Oh,
like
I
thing.
don't know.
Tyler's getting a title. I'm sorry, the Caveman is
Yeah.
getting, or Elk, or whatever the hell he is.
He's getting a title
whatever.
shot.
He's
or
getting a
something.
title shot. Are you interested
I
in
don't know if
going
it's a
to that?
four-way.
I mean, if we can go support Tyler,
We might be the
I'll go, yeah.
reunion show back. We'll have to check it
Yeah,
out.
we'll
See
go
what
check it out.
we won't know any storylines. We'll be like,
I don't think we need to.
Yeah,
I'll be
pretty
honest
much.
with
You're
you.
better off not knowing what's going
Yeah.
on. Just go there and just act stupid.
Okay, yeah, I'm
So,
all for it.
next
I'm all for it.
Saturday, maybe
this
we'll-
Saturday coming up, or what?
Yeah.
What's the,
The
date?
16th.
The 16th or 18th,
That's gonna be
whatever.
coming up.
yeah. Well, I'll bring Holly too. She
Okay.
likes those.
Yeah, I'm down.
The four of us can
down
go
for
back
sure.
to Clash, the return.
We'll root on Tyler some more.
We'll sit there halfway through and go, what are we doing here? This is terrible.
When he got frozen the last time, we were all like, "What are we doing?" Well, all three of us were like, "Dude, we gotta go."
Terrible. But yeah, so that's a little side note on the wrestling. But now,
Anyway,
Charles,
down to business.
down to business. Charles, you remember the Stone Cold era, right?
Correct.
You remember him giving the finger, drinking
Yeah,
beer.
he was very rowdy and like
lip-
he pushed against the man.
Yeah,
and did
lipping off to McMahon.
Sure.
Now,
double fingers.
take all that cool stuff and that attitude and try to recycle it now, but take the middle fingers, the beer, the cussing, and acting crazy out and make him a redheaded Irish girl. That is what Becky Lynch is right now.
So I'm reading the show notes, and I'm like, so how, in this publicly owned company world that we live in now, that the WWE is, how is she pushing against the man? Like,
Well, first off, she calls herself the man. I'm not even lying. That's her shtick.
Wiggs is out.
She calls herself the man.
Okay.
And for some reason, she did a bit back right before Survivor Series where they invaded Raw, and she got popped in the nose on accident.
Oh, like a legit contact.
Yeah.
Okay.
She actually had to miss a wrestling match because of it, but it was blood pouring down her face. And she just went with it. Didn't get, and acted crazy.
Cool.
She's holding up. The crowd loved her for that. And ever since
she
then,
got
she's
some good pop or whatever the term is.
Exactly. So she's been riding that high ever since she did that.
Okay.
So now, fast forward to now, and she's still doing it, and she's got that edge. And she comes through the crowd. She wears a leather coat now.
Okay.
But she screwed her knee up. This girl, they're trying to promote her, but she can't stay healthy for more than 5
Yeah,
minutes.
she got broken nose, bad knee.
Yeah. So she has to take about 3 weeks
She's
off.
the J.J. Watt of the WWE.
Yeah, and then her last bit was on Raw, and Stephanie called her down and said, "You got to either get a doctor's approval or you got to."
And
she
she
ended
need
up
a notice before you can get back
So
in?
she punched Stephanie in the face.
Oh, all right.
So then on SmackDown, she's going to invade SmackDown because she's a
I
Stone
don't
Cold.
need your approval.
She's Stone Cold
to do
PG.
whatever I want to.
That's right.
Yeah.
Screw the man because I am the man.
I'm listening.
And then she got
How
into
is
it.
she being? How is she? Because let's face it, women's wrestling. Ronda Rousey is all things women wrestling right now.
Well, she
How
won the
are
Royal
two
Rumble.
of them? Yeah.
She won the Royal Rumble. She gets to pick who she wants to wrestle at WrestleMania.
So is she calling out Rowdy? Is she
That's
calling?
what she did. Yeah, that's exactly what she did. But she's got a real life messed up knee, so she's got to take in real life about 3 weeks off to her sprained knee. And that was the bit. I don't know if Wiggs caught it, but his boy Triple H came down, which has a manly Viking beard right now. I'm digging
Bald head with the Viking beard.
It's pretty pimped.
Yeah.
And it's
Triple
not
H
like
is
an out
no
of
joke, dude.
It's not an out of
He
control.
is no joke.
He's the
He's
man,
a
yeah.
large dude.
He's
man.
not an out of control beard either. It's like finely trimmed, but still long. Pretty pimped. I have to admit.
Oh, he's got Man Crush
oh,
Monday.
man, I swear to God.
Wow.
I had to put him on the
Okay.
Instagram
Yeah.
pictures.
Oh wow.
So she lipped off to him and asked how his wife was because he and then he gave her a big speech about being a coward and shit, and so she's off TV for about 2 or 3 weeks. But so imagine Stone Cold.
She's healing up.
Yeah,
We're gonna bring her back, and her big comeback is gonna be we're gonna ramp it up right into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
She's gonna go after Ronda Rousey.
Does she
Most-
beat Ronda Rousey?
Because Ronda's gonna go have a baby.
yeah,
There
that
it
could be a
is.
possibility that she beats
Oh,
Ronda Rousey,
man.
which is what's kind of lame. Their main moves are an armbar, the arm submission
Man,
thing.
when I went, Ronda
They
was
both
the
did
main
this-
event.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
How was
How'd
the
she
crowd
look in
reaction when
person?
she came out?
Oh,
by
the
way?
crowd went nuts.
Yeah, she's
She
getting.
looked good.
She's
But I
pretty
tell you what,
popular.
wrestling's fallen off because that place was like half full.
Oh yeah. A lot of tarps. A lot of tarps.
No, but like they already got the black seats to cover the red ones. But like the whole upper deck was empty.
Wow. Where'd you see it at?
It was at the Little Caesars.
Yeah. What'd you think of that? I haven't been to that venue yet.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, back to wrestling.
back to-
So before she beats up Ronda Rousey, 3 weeks from now is the Elimination Chamber. That's on the notes there. That's the big pay-per-view right before Wrestle. That's the go-home show before WrestleMania.
Okay.
She won't be on it. They're gonna.
We're
she'll-
healing her up for the big event.
Yeah, she might come down, do some interviews and stuff, but she probably won't wrestle again
Now,
until April.
let me ask, as I'm looking at the show notes, why does it just say point? Kurt Angle is pointless.
He
I
is.
saw that clip too, where he
Yeah.
came out with.
He literally loses in like 3. There's no point in bringing him back. They put him in matches with.
Is he still in good shape? Because he was always
he
in pretty
can't-
good shape.
Yeah,
He's very
He
fused.
can't
He's
move.
very
fused. Can't
Exactly.
bend.
He's fixed.
Yeah.
He's very unbendable. He needs some yoga bed.
Well, he can't turn his
His
neck,
neck.
for one.
Yeah, but it's why they bring him back because he goes in and loses in like 3 minutes every time. It's not even. BV would say he's in squash matches all the time. So they bring. I mean, I understand the old guys got to lose to promote the young guys, but it's almost pointless. He just comes out and get beat on for like 3 minutes.
I thought that they brought him back with the whole Ronda Rousey thing, pushing the whole Olympic angle and all that. Like
they
true
did at
athletes.
WrestleMania, and it was him and Ronda versus Triple H and Stephanie. It was actually quite a good match. I was surprised. And then ever since then, they just put him in with some male wrestlers, and he just gets pounded.
Thumped on him.
Yeah, it's so pointless. So there you go. That's why Kurt Angle is pointless. Why did you bring him back to just shit on him? I have no idea. It's so pointless for Kurt Angle. And that's not just him. A lot of old guys they bring back. And I understand you don't want to steal the young guys'
That's the big thing.
spotlight.
You want to bring
you go
young
out on your
troops
back
in
like
and
Mick
show
Foley.
'em. Yeah.
But if you're going to do like, okay, Kurt Angle could lose because they're going to wrestle like 10 times. That's what wrestling does. Have him win a couple and then have the main
Build it
guy
up a
win
little
most.
bit,
Yeah. Like they brought Jeff Jarrett back and Well, this I don't care about because Jeff Jarrett's terrible, and he just gets beat up by that Elias guy every time, like in 2 minutes. So there's no point in him.
You
either.
gotta have the guys win, give them the appearance that they could actually win.
Yeah, or they're pointless. So that's all.
Steve's
I'm saying.
point is he's pointless.
Yeah, so just let Kurt Angle retire. We're all done. So there's our 3 minutes. May have a report on Clash Seize the Day next week.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, we're going back. Catch up on them storylines. Now, only one review this week. I bought a new headset because I'm addicted to headsets.
You really are. We had a big conversation. We're having intervention next week.
I have a Logitech 933 headset. And the problem with the Logitech 933 headset, it's wireless. But
Are these now? Let me derail you for a minute. And we've talked about. Are these Bluetooth headsets you pair with consoles?
yeah. The
Okay.
Logitech has a little dongle you stick in the USB on the Xbox or PS4. But you still have to run a 35 millimeter,
A 3.5 millimeter.
3.35
Yeah.
from your headset to the controller. So it's
Okay.
not truly wireless, right?
Yeah,
You got
so
the wire.
in order on the Xbox to get your game audio into, so if I'm talking to you over Xbox Live,
Right.
it goes into the controller, correct?
And then goes to the Xbox
Yes.
and the dongle.
So you're saying that headset needs that connection
The
to
Logitech
get that
one,
live to go through it.
Yes.
Okay.
So and that always drives me nuts. And it never got loud. Only
You want that boom to it.
I want
yeah.
that theater, like
Yeah.
I want the seat
You're
to
gonna
rattle
wear a
little bit.
headset.
Yeah, I want to go deaf in 2 years. That's what I want. I want, and that Logitech one, which is a nice head, and it does it for the PC. Like if you do it on a PC, it's nice.
That
it's
probably has
loud.
its own custom driver
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
So the Astro A20 headset there's an Xbox version.
Wait,
and
what
a
are we
PS4
talking
version.
cash wise? Hold on, let's get
It was
out
about
there.
$150 regular price. I had a bunch of
150.
discounts,
Okay.
so it was cheap.
Okay, so but you're talking about a $150 headset.
Yeah.
The 933 Logitech is how much?
The same price.
Thereabouts.
$150.
So they're a commitment
Yeah,
for 150
yeah,
bucks.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I had that one. So I got the Astros. The nice Astros.
How did you come to find the? Is this something you buy at a Best Buy?
Yeah, Best Buy. Also.
So how are you? How are
My
you?
wife should keep me out of Best Buy. Really.
Yeah, really. Whole family's getting together. How are you coming to find out about these other heads? Like, how does
I
the-
research a lot of stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
And then I go
You're
to
just
Best Buy.
into headsets.
Now,
basically.
as many people can see on Facebook Live, I have a giant hog head. So I have to test headsets before I buy them.
yeah.
Now, I found out Turtle Beach, I don't know if it's design or my head has just gotten bigger over the years. They're like this. They're like, I got the whole bottom of my ear hanging out on the Turtle Beaches, which kind of suck.
Yeah.
And they're always on sale and great. So if I had a smaller head, I'd buy a Turtle Beach.
But as
I
far
don't.
as a comfort position, you just don't like the comfort. Of
No.
Turtle Beaches.
The
The
Astros feel
Logitech
like
you
these.
like? Did you like the Logitech feel? Was
Yeah.
the feel not an issue? It was
Feels
mostly
not an issue.
The connectivity.
Holly don't like them because they're a little heavier. They got like a big battery. The Logitechs are bigger and heavier than these, so Holly's not a fan of those. But the new set, the A20s with Astro, which is ironically got bought out by Logitech, and Logitech makes the Astros now.
Wow.
So if you spend $300 on an Astro and go Logitech sucks, it's the same company, assholes. But there you go, some headset nerdom.
Yeah,
right there.
he really is
Fanboy
him.
him.
So, but now this new set, this Astro
I
set.
should have brought him. I forgot I was going to bring him.
Oh well, okay. But so this new setup doesn't have to have you have a physical connection between
No,
your head
nothing.
and the controller.
And it comes with a little base where you got to run an optical wire and then a USB wire into it.
So your headset's probably talking to that base.
Yeah. So that base, you can also connect like your PS4 to it and
Yep,
stuff
yep,
like
yep,
that.
yep,
So
yep. It's
it
got
says on
multiple
Xbox
inputs.
only, but it does work for PS4 also, which is nice.
So, but it's doing that. It's doing the Xbox Live connection in that box that's sitting on your computer or on your stand, rather, not on your physical.
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
Okay.
So, and I've been using them for a week. It sounds nice and loud. There's no cords to the controller.
Okay.
Much better than the Logitechs.
How long do you get out of a headset before you got to charge?
About 15 hours.
About 15 hours of gameplay, and then they have like a USB micro connection or something like
Yeah,
that. You
yeah.
throw on
You
them
just plug it right in
and
you're good
leave
to
them
go.
overnight. Next day you're ready to go.
yeah,
So
so-
because you game with headsets a lot.
Yeah, I know. I probably won't be able to.
I
get it
have
about 5
three
years.
old headphones, like 3 old headsets. I never even use it. You just give to me.
I'm not that
Just
many.
dude, you're crazy.
So if
with
you're
them.
listening, I never bought any of those
Dude,
headsets.
you're
It's totally
crazy
lying.
with that. You have a whole thing.
I had some nice PlayStation ones that were only $60. They were cheap, but they worked really good with the PlayStation and PC. I lost the dongle. It's got a little USB dongle.
You couldn't find
so
it
now,
online?
Yeah. Huh?
You
no.
couldn't buy that dongle online?
Because the set came out about 7 years ago.
Oh, so it's kind of discontinued.
Yeah. I mean, I can still use it with the 3.5 jack.
But that
But headless
drives you
part,
nuts,
yeah, the wireless part's done. I was like, damn it. I like those too. Those were nice. So there you go. Astros A20s. Now there's an A50.
You said those are way more expensive.
$300 for the A50.
What is it now?
And I put them both on in Best Buy. They feel the same. Couldn't tell the difference. So I don't know. I know some expert guys going to tell you.
I was going to say, what is the paperwork telling you that the 50s are doing that the 120s weren't?
More, it simulates surround sound better.
Like different drivers.
Yeah, and if you're playing Call of Duty, you can hear the footsteps better, I guess, or something along that lines.
Huh.
I don't know.
That's hard. You're hard pressed to believe that $150 difference.
I really don't give a shit even about talking online. I just want that theater sound in my ears all the time. Like I said, I want to be able to hear.
But then what's funny, though, you want that, but you don't want any wires. It's the crazy. It's a tough ask.
Yeah,
so you're like,
the Astro A20s did it.
Yeah.
So I highly suggest those. I like those a lot. Especially if you want to ignore your wife and dog. The thing is, I get into it, I start playing a game, and then Holly goes to bed at 10 o'clock now. And then I'll feel this. I almost have a small heart attack every time when Holly pops me out of nowhere. Wow. It's like, God damn it, you take me out of my immersion.
Yeah, that's cool though.
I am into headsets for some reason.
I mean, how many? So I legit style have gotten 2 from you.
Well, one I won for free. I took a survey
me the old
online.
Titan or Triton ones.
Those were old. Those are from.
But I'm
telling you, you still have those.
I keep everything. It's not. I got a storage in the basement.
These wired Triton headsets had at least 10 wires coming off.
Crazy.
And it had like a power box. It was the most insane headset I ever bought.
But they also sounded amazing.
Oh, they were good.
Yeah,
you go deaf, listen to those.
Amazing.
Yeah, those.
I never really used them. I have a pair of HyperX that I use. Those are the Corsair ones and stuff like that.
Those are always on sale too at Best Buy.
Those are nice. They're metal and they're a nice build. Yeah,
some of them just don't. That's my number one concern. I gotta go to the
store.
You gotta
go and physically.
I can't buy them off Amazon. I gotta try them. I gotta know they fit. Or I'm screwed. Like I said, I got the bottom lobes of my face. Because our grandfather's got those really long ears, and I know if I keep gaming, I'm going to have to tuck my ear up.
Every old man has.
All of us are going to have long balls and ears in about 10, 15 years. Well, maybe a little longer than that.
So you're a big fan of Astro A20 headset.
Yeah, Astro A20.
$150 at Best Buy.
Yeah, they're probably my favorite ones right now. I've always defaulted to Logitech everything. Logitech keyboards, mice, just because they've been around so long and I know I'm getting a quality product. But Astros, I didn't even know.
Logitech makes a lot of great. Logitech makes great computer speakers. All mice and stuff like that. I know a lot of people swear up and down by Razer's products. And stuff like that.
Razer's really gaming, where Logitech's kind of on the border of both. I do like my Logitech 933s, but I said I don't like the wire and it never gets loud enough. Yeah. But it does on a PC. But I don't PC game nearly as much. Yeah. And I remember I thought I was going to, and I was like, this is such a hassle. I gotta fuck with all this stuff. Yeah. And console's so much easier.
10 times
just put the game in and
especially
play.
now.
Wait 45 minutes for the load, then play the game. Yeah. Before I forget, I've been playing Kingdom Hearts 3. Michelle got that for me.
Big PS4 release just came out.
Well, it's on Xbox also.
It is.
I got it on PS4 though. And do you know what that is, Wiggs?
No.
I'm surprised.
I'm not a video game guy.
I thought you had a Sora tattoo. Sora is the main character. Yeah. Basically, it's Disney based. And there's like 9 worlds. And you are Sora, the main character, you look like an anime character, and you got Goofy and Donald with you, and you go to all these different worlds.
McDonald's a key master or something.
Yeah, Mickey's a key master. And it's got this long, giant, bloated Japanese story to go with all of it, and I just go past all the cutscenes because literally.
Well, this is huge because this is the first release in like years.
10 years.
Yeah. So people love those first 2 games, but weren't they PS2 games?
PS2 and PS3.
Yeah,
there was one on PS3.
Early PS3.
But then there's like 2 or 3 that were on PS Vita or
okay.
Yeah. So there's like 6 games total, and its story is so convoluted, it makes no sense. All I know is these little black monsters come down, attacking the different Disney worlds, and your job is to go and kill the monsters. That's the easiest way to put it. So when you play though, you do a little action scene. That's a 20-minute cutscene after that. And I'm not bullshitting 20 minutes. Me and Holly, because she wants to play because it's all Disney, right? So she's into it. Oh, we got to play this. But then when she realized she had to sit through all these Japanese anime stories, she's like, oh, I'm getting so bored. She was losing
convoluted
stories. Yeah. I mean, the graphics are nice, though. I mean, the one I'm on now is Toy Story. And when you go there...
Well, that's the big thing in this new game is the Pixar stuff.
Yeah. Toy Story, Monster, Inc. What are some of the other worlds? Hercules. Weird choice, I guess. Tangled, that was one of the stories. There's like 9 different Disney worlds you get to go to, and all kinds of characters. So if you're into Disney, check it out. But you may want to skip some of those cutscenes because boy, and thank God they gave me the option to skip them because they're long. They're long. Never seen it that one. So, anyways, now let's go back to movies again because at least Wiggs will be somewhat entertained. Wiggs, are you excited for the Captain Marvel movie coming out?
Yeah, I like all the Marvel movies.
I just want to see de-aged Samuel Jackson to the whole thing. I'm gonna keep watching to see if there's any part where I can see wrinkles or something. Like, wait, he's not 20, but happy to see it. So you're familiar. We've talked about this many times. The Disney streaming service coming out.
Yeah,
Now, Wiggs, do you ever catch Marvel movies on Netflix?
I do occasionally. Yeah,
You know what you won't be catching on Netflix?
yeah.
Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel will be the first Marvel movie that'll be exclusive to the Disney streaming, and they will not let anybody else have it.
Well, I figured they'd pull all their movies off there.
Well, they're going to do.
They're probably just under contract.
Yeah,
under
under
so much
contract.
content.
Now, interesting, from what I've understand, that I should have linked the article. Disney makes $130 to $150 million a year licensing their movies out to TV shows and stations.
Makes sense.
So with them cutting that, it's going to cost them almost $130 million.
Yeah, but they're assuming on
they're
the
going to
back
make that
end.
back.
Yeah,
Charge
yeah,
huge for the
assuming.
subscription.
Yeah, so there you go. The war has started. Captain Marvel is coming just to the Disney streaming. No, Netflix will not be getting it. And, of course, Netflix is already canceling all the Marvel shows, which they haven't announced the canceling of Punisher yet. Which
You brought this up 2 weeks in a row. You're just waiting on it.
I'm waiting, and it
hasn't-
just isn't happening. So I wonder what's going to happen there. I would love to see season 3, to be honest, but we'll find out. Now, what about UFC, Wiggs? Are you huge into UFC?
No, I'm not.
All right, there you go. What about ESPN Plus, Wiggs? You sign up for that?
No, but actually, they have some decent
It's
stuff
good.
on
I'm
there.
telling you,
for $5, I've
yeah.
thought about
It's
it.
decent. Yeah,
They
You
show a
were
couple
close?
hockey games every
It's
week.
not.
and then,
You get like obscure sports.
Yeah.
And I brought up it on the podcast
Is
a few
sumo on
weeks
there?
ago. I don't know if sumo specifically, but I know there's like a lot of rugby stuff if you're into that. And it does get there's cricket if you're Indian.
So
I
you're
guess. I don't
telling
know.
me the 9 stations they have on cable wasn't enough coverage to get so,
Well,
so
the
you got to
problem
have
is
this?
now PTI was so successful that half of ESPN's coverage is like PTI clones and around the horn clones. You know what I
Right,
mean?
that's
Like
true.
yeah, from
it's
like
really-
4 to
yeah,
6. It's
so,
all
like,
like
the
the
I
main
watched
section-
I watched SportsCenter the other day. I didn't recognize anybody on there.
No, you won't. That Adnan Vert guy
Half
just got
of them are
bumped.
females.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he got
yeah,
shit
he got
canned.
fired.
Yeah, for
Who
something
did?
to do with MLB. Adnan Vert, he was on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
He did a lot of their
He
coverage.
got popped because they alleged that he tipped off like awful announcing or whatever that they weren't bringing back baseball tonight.
Yeah. And they
And
shit
then
canned him.
he got canned.
And he's on a lot. He did a lot of college stuff, a lot of their shows, a lot of Sports Center
He
stuff.
did a lot of football studio stuff.
Yeah.
College football.
It's a big deal that he got shit canned. But I do recommend if for $5 a month, I think ESPN Plus is a good value. I really do. But so what Steve's bringing up, the UFC going there made a huge bump. How many subscribers did
They got
get?
2 million new subscribers because of the UFC fight thing.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I think that was great initially. I question the longevity of that partnership. And I've talked about it a couple weeks ago here. That first fight was awesome. TJ Dillashaw versus Henry Cejudo, great fight. You know, TJ Dillashaw came down some weight and actually got popped. It was really cool. Question is, fast forward a couple months, what kind of content is the UFC giving them? I don't know if it's going to be of that caliber. And that's what I think it's initially going to have a huge pop and then it's going to taper off. It's just like Fight Pass for UFC when it first came out. Amazing content on there initially. And then they kind of wised up to it. Well, you know, they're not going to do the WWE network and give you all the pay-per-views, so they kind of back off and give you some decent fights, but it's, you know, it's not
Conor
their
McGregor's
age.
never going to be on Fight Pass or this ESPN
6 months
Plus.
after his pay-per-view.
Maybe when he's 50 and on
But
the
now
tail
I
end of
will
his
say
career.
on Fight Pass, there's a lot of good shows as far as like Embedded and stuff like that behind-the-scenes stuff that I often talk about. I really am a big fan of, but I think this is great for ESPN Plus, and it shows how big of a sport UFC is for someone like myself, who's a big fan of the sport. That's good to see. I don't think it's going to stay. I've already got rid of my ESPN Plus membership after having it. So, yeah.
So you two just blew it for about 5 minutes, and then you already shit canned it.
I'm,
Is that what you're telling me right now?
I'm incredibly cheap.
So I need to
alright?
sign up to see cricket when no one else is
But
watching
I'm telling
it?
you, to Wiggs' point though, if those obscure sports hit you, I think go for it. You know what I
Maybe
mean?
we got like some hockey games on there because you'll
Yeah.
see on the thing of like ESPN Plus like a few games a week.
I thought ESPN hated hockey.
They
no,
got to
but
put
they got-
Barry Melrose's mullet somewhere.
Yeah, he's the only person I think around for them.
I don't know.
They got one
Is
guy. Their hockey
let me ask
department
the
is Barry
question here,
Melrose.
Wiggs, as the resident kind of. I don't want to call you hockey expert because I know
You're the
don't
hockey
watch
expert.
it.
You
Not
just
anymore,
became-
but yeah.
You're a former hockey expert.
Is there a streaming service that exists for NHL? I mean, there's got to be, right?
I would imagine.
I mean, there's got to be because there's NBA League Pass. I know
They got
of.
the
And there's
NHL
MLB.
Center Ice, so
Yeah.
I assume they've got
It's
it.
got to have an online
yeah,
version.
they-
I'm sure
it's
it
got to.
does. Yeah. So I don't know. That's my question. To me, I'd rather take the money from ESPN Plus and put it on UFC Fight Pass, and that's where, to your point, I have Fight Pass. I don't have ESPN Plus. So, but
Now-
it's neat to see.
So the UFC and the ESPN marriage got him 2 million subscribers. Let's see if it keeps
And they're
up.
super stoked about it because that article was everywhere.
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah, they
ESPN
gotta
was
promote
beating their
it.
chest about that.
Anything ESPN can do to.
Here's the thing. I think you should subscribe to ESPN Plus if you read ESPN's website, because 90% of ESPN's website is commercials and terrible.
Oh,
So-
I hate their website. You click on an article, they're like, well, you should sign up for our website.
It's
No,
so
your website sucks. I just used it to use the schedule for the for the college football during the season. So now, what's this next thing about UFC 234?
Yeah, so hours before, and this is the craziness that is MMA, apparently.
MMA.
Yeah, so Robert Whitaker was supposed to fight.
Okay, who's Robert Whitaker?
They were championship
You're talking
middleweight
two
champs.
dudes. Do you know who Robert
Anyway,
Whitaker
no. Anyway, they were supposed to. He was supposed to fight this Kelvin Gastelum guy. He had to pull out like at the last minute. So the previous pay-per-view with John Jones, they had to quick like hell move it from Vegas to L.A. because he failed that.
Chalky.
Yeah, I know. Does that guy pass any drug test?
Well, it's a whole. I can go off on a whole thing with the metabolite stuff. You got to listen to Joe Rogan; he'll explain it way better than I can. Anyway, they moved it there. Now this guy pulls up, gets a hernia like the day before the event. They got no main event, so then they end up moving the Anderson Silva fight to the main event. This Anderson Silva fight's pretty bad because it's kind of his return fight after a major injury, so you really don't know who he's going to get. I didn't check any results because I just kind of wanted to talk about it today. I'll pull up some results probably later on tonight and look at it. But crazy world of MMA, man. Like, you imagine you drop $60 on this pay-per-view and you're like,
And the guy you want pulled out the night
yeah,
before? That would
like,
piss
that
me off.
sucks.
They're still doing the $60 pay-per-views?
Of course they are. They got the boxing model. But if you subscribe to Fight Pass, 2 weeks after it, you'll get the event on Fight Pass.
2 weeks later?
Yeah, but I
Well,
mean,
why don't you just subscribe
in
to
this-
Fight Pass? You get a discount for $30.
what's that?
Like if you have Fight Pass, you're a member of Fight Pass, you get the pay-per-view.
They
for $30.
run a bit, so
That would
that's
make
how
more
I
sense.
typically get Fight Pass. So if you go on the UFC app, you can get like a combo deal where you get the pay-per-view plus X amount of months of Fight Pass.
Could you imagine if NFL went to this? Where you had to
Tell you
pay
what.
to watch NFL? I don't think I'd
Wouldn't
pay
su-
for it.
Wouldn't surprise me. They're all hard up for the cash, man.
I mean, there's a
Are they really hard up? The NFL makes like $1 trillion.
Yeah. They make $2 trillion. They'll do it to you.
Yeah, that's true.
We're missing $1 trillion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You think they actually care about us?
No.
I think my thing is the amount. Sometimes, like, and I'm not a wrestling guy. I know you and BV, and then Wiggs obviously is trying to become a wrestling guy again. I think that the
He's getting
WWE
a Stone
Network
Cold
is a
tattoo next
fantastic
week.
value. It really is. I mean, to be able to get all that content plus the pay-per-views,
think about
it just doesn't exist anywhere else.
Even in wrestling's heyday, when we were in our I was in my mid-20s. In the 90s, I didn't buy every pay-per-view. It was $60.
couldn't afford it.
No.
Yeah, I bought
couldn't
WrestleMania
afford
and
it.
maybe SummerSlam, and then SummerSlam wouldn't work when Wiggs comes over.
Or we're working into my house.
Yeah, I was
the
the jinx
all
on
those years.
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But yeah, so even like wrestling at $60 a pay-per-view, I wouldn't pay for, and that's why I think UFC's a little outdated in that.
But the thing is, when it works massively. When you put a Conor McGregor on it, when you put certain names on
What's
it,
that? Once or twice a year,
that's the problem.
and
So,
you have
like,
12 pay-per-views, 2 of them good.
That's the
Yeah,
problem.
that's
So for someone like me, a more frugal gentleman, I will wait and let that hit again and know the results. But I'm such a nut for the sport. I still want to see the action. You know
I would
what
do
mean?
that with the boxing all the time.
What's that?
I'd do that with the boxing all the time.
Yeah, just wait for it.
Well,
to
you wait
show-
till next week. They'd show that same fight on HBO.
Yeah.
prior to
Check
whatever
it out.
one they were fighting.
Yeah.
Like you just watched it.
And boxing's even more crazy because they go past $60 sometimes.
Oh, they'll be over $100 if anyone was fighting.
With a straight face,
Yeah.
like that'll be 100.
So
That'd
you
be
wouldn't
$100.
you wouldn't get the card that next week, but you'd get the main event.
Yeah, you'll take it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that you just want to see the action. And that's what it boils down to. I don't know. I think that sometimes I feel like it's like the Disney, Netflix. Something's got to give. I mean, no one has $7,000 just waiting for their entertainment content for the next year. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
ridiculous.
no one has the kind of money that all these businesses want to get. I'm a huge UFC fan. I'm not getting every pay-per-view. There's no way. I'm not doing it.
We can crap on WWE all you want, but if you're really a fan,
It's a great value.
you $10 a month.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not going to argue that.
yeah, I mean,
Is
I
that their
can
way-
watch WrestleMania 3 right now.
You think that's their way of keeping some of the older crowd around?
I think so.
It's got to
I
be.
mean, because
Because
they're
we
not.
sit there in
knowing your
nostalgia
spot.
I
the
mean, because
whole
people
time.
like you were taking your kids, if you had sons, to go watch that kind of stuff. You're not really going
Let
occasionally.
me ask the question:
Yeah.
if you were going to buy a WWE pay-per-view outright, what's the cost on a WWE pay-per-view? Probably $60.
Yeah, it's 60. But WrestleMania is more. WrestleMania is like 70. Well, see, no, what WWE does, if you don't have the network, it's 60. But if you want it in high def, it's an extra 15.
Yeah,
So it's
they're still
75.
kicking you like 480p.
Yeah,
That's everything, though. Boxing the
That's
same way. It's
bull.
an extra $10, $15.
Who wants to watch Mud Vision?
I know. I
480.
think I see Stone Cold. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
I do not watch 480 at all.
Oh,
Get out of my house.
Can you
with
imagine
480.
that? You got to pay extra
Can't
15
do
to get
that.
high
Yeah.
def.
I don't
That's a
know.
rip, too.
And it's just like I said, and it goes back to the Disney. At some point, we're going to reach a saturation level where like these things just can't work. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I
You
can't.
got to have one of them bomb.
Yeah,
That, you know.
and that's the whole thing too, because each one of these services, and we've chronicled this on the show, we need to raise you a couple bucks, Steve.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
Well,
mean?
it's like so when Disney pulls all their stuff from Netflix, is Netflix going to drop their price?
We brings up a great point.
It'll never
Well,
happen.
first off, because all the
I
shitty
can
content
make-
on
so,
Netflix,
but I
it
would
should
make
be
the
cut in
argument.
half.
I don't watch the Marvel content. On
No, but I'm
Netflix.
just saying,
I'm
though,
probably
you know-
rare that I don't.
Yeah.
But they're
there's a
paying,
lot
like
of
Steve
people
said,
do.
a lot of money for the content. Is that going to get passed down to the consumer? Hell no.
Yeah,
It's just like when they started
they got to give
charging
Adam
you
Sandler
for.
another contract.
They charged you for luggage on the airlines when the gas prices were high,
Yeah.
and then the gas prices went down, but that
fee
charge for
never-
the luggage is still there. I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, my personal favorite is the digital stuff. Oh, when we start selling movies and video games digitally, and we don't have to make the boxes,
They'll be
and the
cheaper.
they'll be cheaper.
no,
Guess what? They're still $60 and $20. They haven't got
Still
any
waiting for that
cheaper.
discount still.
Yeah, where's my discount, you bastard?
I don't know, man.
There is
But
no discount.
I just question. I mean, I'm knowing all you guys and all my peer group. I don't know anyone that's got a ton of these services. I just don't. Like, you get a Netflix and maybe a this and a that. You know what I mean? But like, that's really.
the default is Netflix, right?
I think
Everybody,
so,
pretty much
yeah.
everyone gets Netflix,
Yeah.
and then after that,
You might have a Hulu, but to me, if you have cable, there's no point to a Hulu. You know what I mean? Like,
the float guy got the DC one. He's the
Yeah.
only guy I know that has
you
that.
forgot it even existed.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Scott
yeah,
knew about
DC.
that. And you were like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I mean, a diehard. Now, Wiggs was the biggest diehard sports guy I know, and he doesn't even have the ESPN. You do that.
No.
ESPN Plus. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think Bill has it, and he's a pretty big.
And
diehard
that's the
sport.
thing,
He might
like-
have it though. I don't know.
even with these, even with these UFC, I'm a pretty big nut with the UFC stuff. You eventually kind of reach saturation where there's not much stuff on it. So then you start to they have to make these services so easy to jump in and jump out of. So then you start to look, well, why am I still paying this $8? You know what I mean? Like, so I'll just cancel you like you do with the WWE network.
Yeah.
I'll see you in 4 months when you build up your content a little more.
I do
and
that
come
WWE
back.
all the time.
Yeah,
I watch a ton of it between January and April, and then it's cut.
That's cut.
Yeah, I mean, I
Come
don't
back in
blame you.
January.
And then that same thing goes for, so you talk about me with the ESPN Plus. If there's ever another big UFC event coming up, I'll just pop back on for a week
Yeah,
or
for
two.
your $5, and then
Yeah.
I
so-
tell you what, if DC that app right now, they're really pimping that Young Justice and Teen Titans, but
He
not
said
not
that
the
was
Teen,
coming. He said
not the
they-
good Teen
not
Titans.
not the Teen Titans you like a real. So there's nothing, and Doom Patrol, I don't care. But if, man, they say we're getting a Batman or Superman series, I might dip in there for a month or two. I'm not gonna lie.
Here's
I'll be
what
like,
I
ooh, my
wonder.
Batman, ooh, Superman.
Like, don't you think, to me, some of these businesses, and like, to me, if I'm Disney, when that Marvel thing, the Marvel Disney thing happens, if I'm DC, I'm like, hey, make us a $3 upgrade on your Netflix. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
give the content
why
to
not? Yeah. So, like, I get HBO Now or HBO Go for $5 extra on my DirecTV Now. To me, it's a smart process to kind of like understand your role and kind of fit in. So like, why take like ESPN Plus on a Fight Pass? Why can't I have Fight Pass with ESPN Plus for like a couple bucks more? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and have it all wrapped in.
Bridge them in. It'd be easier to do. Like you said,
Yeah,
what's it?
a couple bucks.
Once
not
they
the full
start
thing.
struggling, they'll do that. Right now, they got enough
Yeah,
subscribers.
yeah.
And CBS app, too, for all those Star Trek nerds out there.
Yeah.
That should be just like an add-on to Hulu or Netflix.
Yeah, it really
Why
should
is it
be.
its own thing? I have no idea.
Yeah.
I guess they come in real low, and that's how you justify it. Well, you know, DC's only $5.99 a month. This is $6 a year.
But then to the point, so if you started to add up, it starts out at $5. But
Yeah.
then
You start adding them all together.
Yeah, and then Wiggs is like, it's $50, man.
Yeah.
What am I doing here?
and I only watched Teen Titans once. I mean,
Because half of you forget about you got it.
yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. That I think the good thing for me is, and you talked about it, I have those Apple TVs as my cable box. So I'm always seeing those apps. So that's why when you rip on me because I watch so much Netflix or whatever, imagine on your cable box, it's just always right in your face. It lends itself to checking it out more.
Yeah. So there you go. More streaming talk because we love it. We talk about it a lot.
Enough of it.
Wait, you know what grinds my gears?
What grinds your gears, Steve?
What grinds my gears? Outrage. Outrage grinds my gears. I guess this is technically outrage.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard this story this last week, but Delta. You familiar with Delta, Wiggs?
I am.
That is
They
a thing.
charged them
Yeah.
for luggage.
Yeah. So I guess Delta passengers this past week out of Detroit Metro were getting napkins, Wiggs, with their drinks. And on the napkin it said, it said Diet Coke and then search for your plane crush. And on the backside, when you flipped it
You
over,
can write numbers or something on
yeah,
there?
you write a phone number and a name on it. Now, if you saw this napkin, Wiggs, what would you think?
I would think nothing of it, but it's 2019 and somebody will.
Exactly.
Wiggs proceeds to blow his nose.
Yeah,
on
I
the
wouldn't
napkin.
even-
Yeah, no one, a normal person, would give it 2 seconds thought. Apparently, a bunch of people got outraged by this, and that Diet Coke and Delta were being creepy. And they tweeted the crap out of Delta about it. So Delta had to pull all the napkins off their planes
But
because
let me-
of some stupid marketing thing that no one should give 2 seconds thought
Let
to.
me play devil's advocate for
Okay,
a minute
you can.
here, if I can.
You can. It's
I know,
stupid.
but I know it's stupid. But here's my thing: why can't you just have a Diet Coke logo on a napkin? Like,
Oh,
at what
yeah.
point are we trying so hard that we're trying to get Wiggs? Oh, look how quirky Diet Coke is.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
just
that's
stay in your
their whole
lane.
new marketing line with those Diet
Yeah,
Cokes.
like there's that weird social media / we're gonna get invested in your life,
Yeah.
Steve. It's like just show Diet Coke and keep it moving.
But
You know
at
what
the
I mean?
same time, you're not going to go to Twitter and tweet
No.
Delta.
No.
A total outrage. Now, the other outrage of this past week, there was 2 outrages a week, not just one. Everyone's outraged. I'm outraged every morning. I get up and find out what I'm outraged about. Right now, I'm outraged.
This-
Charleston's
this
Converse
second
hat,
one-
pissing me off.
What's that?
Your Converse hat just pissing me off.
Yeah.
I'm
The
going to
second
tweet
one
Converse right
did
now.
bum me out a little bit because the company you're going to bring up backtracked, and I got bummed about
Oh,
it.
did they? I didn't know. I didn't
They
follow
did.
up.
They
So, Wiggs, you
retracted.
watched the Super Bowl, correct?
Yep.
And that turd sandwich of a Super Bowl.
Turned it off midway through the third.
But before you got to turn it off, did you see a lot of Bud Light commercials?
I did.
Now, what was the number one thing they hated on those Coors Light commercials? They were trying to get rid of out of their beer.
Oh, it was it the corn syrup?
Yeah.
High
Yes.
fructose corn
Yeah.
syrup.
So guess who got outraged this
Oh,
week?
no, I'm sure the corn people.
Corn
of America.
farmers of
Yeah.
America got pissed off at
course.
Bud Light.
And the funny part is, you go to like Kroger, for example, like all these boxes are now advertising no high fructose corn syrup, but Bud Light calls you out for that, and you're pissed. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
weird.
Why get pissed when they call you out for what you're using your product?
I don't know. It's
So
it's fun to me to actually see some companies mix it up a little bit. I
Yeah,
guess that's old school wrestling. there.
Again,
But it's not the
normal.
companies got upset. It was the corn makers.
Yeah,
that
it
make
wasn't
the corn
Coors or
syrup.
Miller
Well,
Lite.
no. So then the corn people got Miller on their side and Coors on their side. So then eventually Bud Light had to come out with a retraction thing of like,
Oh, I didn't even know this.
yeah, and that's what bummed
But
me
why
out.
come up with a retraction with something that's true?
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
they were just simply just saying in jest and all. It was
Oh,
kind of a
God, I
lame
know.
retraction.
Well, people got all bent out of shape when
Pull it up here real
the
quick.
mountain crushed the Bud Light night can. 'Cause you could hear it crush. I thought that was hilarious.
I thought that commercial was so good because it was so out of nowhere. It's
Yeah,
like,
I didn't
what?
expect him to mount and knock him off his horse.
Well, yeah, when he stood up and they showed the mountain, I was
Yeah.
like, wait, what? What is this commercial for?
But the best part is you hear the can crush.
yeah,
Like, that was,
and you see the
that
king
was
going,
funny.
"Oh!"
Yeah,
yeah, that was pretty funny. I like that.
but people were all
yeah.
bent out of shape over that because it's too violent.
Yeah, well, people pissed off about the chunky milk one too. They didn't like
Well, that's
that
why
either.
the
I thought
commercial
the
sucked
chunky
this
milk
year
one was
because
so
it's
good.
2019. We can't laugh at it.
Yeah, exactly. Outrage, Wiggs. That's what
Yeah,
grinds my
I mean-
gears. Outrage.
It's the mob mentality. man.
Oh God, so much outrage. The napkin thing is stupid. The corn syrup thing is stupid. And that's just a small sample of the outrage you can find online these days. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
You don't gotta
Yeah,
look
so
far.
it's like in the Bud Light Kingdom, we love corn too. Corn on the cob, cornbread, blah blah blah.
It's not corn syrup.
Yeah, my accountant actually tried to get me to brew with corn syrup to save money, but even though, so like they tried to like basically just continue on. Yeah, it's just.
Can you buy corn syrup at the store? Can they like right now?
yeah.
can you
Caro
go-
corn syrup?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's right,
really?
like-
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
it's right with like the oils and different things like
The
that.
most hated thing. What would you cook at home with corn syrup?
It goes into a lot of stuff, I believe. I mean,
I don't know. I'm just curious.
yeah.
Why is it so hated? Can you put it in a dish?
So there's like inherently like a big thing with. So you know, as someone who just got diagnosed with type 2, corn type 2, son. So corn is like one of those big things that has a ton of.
Way to help me, Trevor.
One of the toast is in it. What is the toast that's in the fructose, sucrose? What is the?
Glucose.
So the government subsidizes a ton of the corn industry apparently, and so what they're saying is if you pay attention to the labels of food, they've put it in everything because it makes it dirt cheap because of the government subsidies on the corn. Someone jump in if you think I'm wrong, but that's how I'm to understand it. So they're blaming the obesity problem in America on the fact that there's corn and just one of the toasts in just everything you eat. Like you can't get away from it if you wanted to.
I'm not sure about that.
My whole thing, and I'm sure Wiggs, you make the food choices yourself. No one holds you open and
Unless
shoves
put
it
a
down.
gun to your head
Yeah.
and say, eat this.
Are you sure? I thought that guy showed up last night at my house.
No, he didn't.
Way to out me, by the way, Charles. Just tell the world. You know, I got type 2.
I didn't know you were sketchy about the type.
Just kidding.
Yeah, so I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. You can here's corn syrup, a big picture of it, and everything like
Yes.
that. Yeah.
It's good on your Cheerios.
Yeah, you can get light and dark corn syrup.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So.
It's good in mixed drinks.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like the whole process, and this is where Coors and Miller's rebuttal to this, and I know now from making Mr. Beer stuff, you need sugar for the yeast to eat to create the alcohol or the whatever.
ferment.
Yeah, so you can't. There's got to be something in there sweet for this crap to eat and create the CO2 and the alcohol byproduct and all this kind of stuff. So
Don't you
there-
watch Moonshiners, man?
Sorry, I know. I just watch Bud Light commercials. I
But
thought
to
they were
Wiggs'
funny.
point, it's 2019, and one company can't point out to another
No.
company's faults.
It's just so ridiculous.
Without somebody getting mad.
That's
how it
what
works.
grinds my gears. Wiggs,
Yeah.
have you been to the giant new Art Van furniture down in Canton?
I've not been in it, I've been by it. Yeah.
I went in it the other day. It's pretty huge.
Oh yeah.
You get really hounded by some salesmen. So, Charles, tell us about your furniture hunting experience.
Yeah, so-
you weren't looking for a new futon.
No new futon. We like
But if
this
you
one.
want to buy a new futon, it's a
no,
little more
it
comfortable.
makes you fat.
Yeah,
We
I
love
know.
it.
Bill doesn't like this
So
futon.
we were out looking for some new living room furniture. Again, we lost our dog, and we
Tell
were
them how
gonna-
you broke the side of your couch.
Yeah, we broke it. It's long in the tooth. At the end of the day, Steve has type 2, and I broke my couch.
We're fat.
So, anyway, we went out furniture shopping, and we went to the usual trappings of like Value City and Art Van. Man, I forgot how much the sharks swim in these furniture stores, dude. Like,
You can't even step foot in the door
I
without
know,
someone being
they're
right
at
on
the
you.
door. Like
know.
Gardner White
They're like
and
in the
Art
vestibule,
Van.
man.
They were like, "Wait, what brings you?"
You're a
today?"
middle-aged couple, too. They just swarmed to you.
Oh my God, we could finance the crap out of these two.
I know, they
Yeah,
ran
it's
to you.
just like,
They were pushing each other to get to you two.
it's one of those things that, furniture is one of those things you don't buy that often, and when
Yeah.
you go and buy it, you're like, man, I forgot how obnoxious this can be.
Yeah, it's like you can feel them like lurking. Because every time I go in those places, the first person to walk up to me like, if I find something, I will come get you. Just leave me alone. If I
Yeah.
need something, I'll find you. But they'll be like, you can feel them over your shoulder. They'll be like 10 feet behind you, like looking around.
And,
It's
and,
like,
and that's another thing I learned from this experience too. And Steve recently bought some living room furniture. living room furniture is crazy expensive.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
And here's why: they put power recliners in everything.
You
now.
don't want a power recliner either.
You can't get it without
Sure,
Wiggs.
first of all, they're heavy as shit. You ever have to move one?
I don't. But you can't. I mean, everything had it, Wiggs. I mean, I don't know. Because I was, I'm kind of Dave Markey in my old school ways. I'm like, well, what's wrong with the little poppy thing?
Well, if you talk to them, most of the time they'll have that same model without the power stuff in it.
Oh, really?
But they'll put the power stuff out because it's more expensive. And like, hey,
my
man.
God. I was just like, everything, it's got USB ports. I'm like, I don't know if I want to plug my couch in. It's a really weird MO. But
The power ones are so slow. Brandon had one. It's like you hit it, it's like, it's like you're waiting for everyone to go up. It's like, all right.
We found a couch was pretty heavy, but man, those sales guys, man, next level. I wonder, like, if you buy like a $3,000 whatever living room set, what do they clear on that? Like $500 or something like that?
Oh, I bet it's not even that much.
Yeah, it's probably like 200 or something. It's just.
Yeah, but they got to clear so many per week so they can feed their children.
Wait, and
they got quotas. You know they all do.
And I make their job easy because I want to buy the extra warranty on like all the mechanizing crap because I just want to call Art Van and be like, hey, this thing broke. You know what I mean? Like, so they love that because I'm sure to Wiggs' point they get a big kickback on that. But man, as soon as you walk in the door, what brings you in today? What's going on? It's like,
Can I point you in a certain direction?
Did I tell you our Art Van story from a couple weeks ago?
No.
So we went down to IKEA or whatever. We were over in that area. And
That's another place I hate.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's a zoo too. Me and Michelle, me and Holly, we were like, oh man, let's go to that new giant Art Van. We weren't looking to buy anything. I just wanted to see inside.
Check it out.
It's not as big as IKEA, but it's pretty big, and it's got an escalator.
A couple
in the middle.
floors and everything.
The three of us walk in. This middle-aged foreign lady comes. Oh, how may I help you? We're just looking. We're fine. We're not looking. Okay. I'll be right over here. You have questions. We start walking around. We find this set about 30 minutes or 20 minutes later. It's brown leather, and it is electronic. But the coolest thing it had, you lean back, you hit the button, and it had an electric headrest. So you never need a pillow again. That's how fat and lazy I've become. That I could just, I can see again. This is great. So I was telling Michelle, this is awesome. And I turned back to my left. That woman was standing 2 inches from me out of nowhere. She appeared like a ghost. She goes, we have finance. I was like, what? It scared the shit out of me. Even Holly's like, where did she come from? She was like she was a furniture ninja. It was amazing. She's the slickest person I've ever seen. And so then you go up the stairs, and upstairs is all the bed stuff. That's all. Have you seen? Did you look at the bedding price?
No, we were on Eureka Road. We didn't go to the one in Camden.
Okay. Well, even at our van, they're going to be the same price there.
Have you gone to a Lazy Boy store?
No, I haven't.
Oh my!
I didn't even know they still had Lazy Boy stores.
Dude, there's
one in Monroe, isn't it?
Well, no, there's one down by the Hooters on Eureka. There, they used to be right across from the mall.
Yeah,
and they moved down further.
I didn't know they moved it. I knew they closed it.
I tell you, I never had such a sticker shock in my life.
So what was like 2 chairs and a couch?
So like if you were gonna like do like just our living room furniture, like a recliner and then like a recliner love seat thing, you're talking $5,600, $5,800, dude. Oof. Crazy. I was just like, this is
Wiggs will
nuts.
take 2.
No,
I just had
not for Lazy Boy, man. It's like people they think the names are the same as they were, but they ain't made like they used to be.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's not 1965 anymore.
You're not gonna have it as an heirloom recliner. Yeah, it's just. It was crazy. I mean, Heather and Lorna, because Lorna's jumping. Like, you stop jumping immediately. Like, I can't afford this
what did you settle on?
So we got, there's a older, like retro looking, like dark brown leather, not even dark brown, like a chestnut leather with power, everything. They didn't even ask to give us the option for the manual one. And it's got the head thing and all that kind of stuff, but it's like $3,000.
I love
for
that
what we
thing,
want.
I'm not gonna lie. What did you get? A couch and 2 chairs?
No, we got a couch and a chair because the size of our living room is not conducive to having another. In this line, the love seat would have been too big. It would have been pushing over into the fireplace. So we had to go with a couch and then a bigger chair. And that's
Is the chair going to become Dad's chair? That's going to be your
No, I don't like
chair?
to say. I got a weird thing with, and this is why. Don't put your television above your fireplace because it's not comfortable to watch. Viewing angles are real, people. I don't know why
TV's
people.
not above a fireplace.
No, I'm not saying yours is, but I'm saying like so many people's houses you go to, and it looks great. It looks like a piece of art. But 3 hours into a football game, you're going to want to stab someone.
That's when electric headrest comes in. Oh, it's too high. Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying. Like, so I always want to sit. head on with the TV, so my spot's always on the couch itself. Yeah, I don't.
You're Sheldon. You got your spot on the couch.
Yeah, I do. I really do. I don't like to sit off to a side and all that kind of stuff.
What were we were watching football one Sunday, and Charles dropped something. And he leans to the right over the side of his couch and literally just cracked the whole side of the couch off.
I leaned. I think I might have grabbed my beverage or something like that. But that was that. So that arm. And we've only had that stuff out there. We bought that at Art Van. That's Lazy Boy stuff too, and we paid like $2,000 for the stuff that's out there. But yeah, we're up another $1,000. Like Jesus.
All right, people, that's gonna wrap us up. I want to say everyone is outraged. Wiggs is outraged right now. Everyone's outraged. I don't like napkins that talk to me, and I don't. And Charles don't like expensive furniture.
I just don't like the salesman.
Wiggs don't like anything expensive.
No.
I agree with him totally. So, thanks for listening. This is Steve and Charles, and our special guest, Wiggs. Always like to thank him. All right. And you catch us again on the website, fatguyslittlepodcast.com, Google Play, iTunes, Alexa, Google Home. You can catch us on a car, radio, on your toilet, wherever. We're all over the place, on your phone. Until next week, we're signing off and catch you next week.